Welcome back to the Pesky Report. Little different look. We're doing a little live stream here as kind of a therapy session for the Red Sox, since there's absolutely no news to talk about. There never is. Not at this juncture. I also, pardon me for being a little spacey at the start of this. I was trying to link this to my Twitter account, but forgot I am not a premium user anymore. So I'm now texting Matt to let him know that I'm using his Twitter account. Um, but how you doing, Derek?
We're doing. No, it's this is an interesting one. This is the time of year where I feel like everyone just loses their minds, even though nothing typically ever happens at this time of year, or at least nothing major for the most part. And we're now this weird spot post winter meetings where not a ton happens, but everyone's expecting something to happen. And with the off season not really having any deadlines as to when anything needs to happen outside of the posting period for some of the Japanese players, coming over from the NPB, there's no real timelines on anything. So outside of Murakami, Okamoto, and Amai, every free agent could wait till February if they wanted to. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Free agents will sign here and there. I said every free agent. Maybe the big ones might all wait till February, but we've seen a couple minor signings the last couple days. Nothing big, obviously, nothing. No Pete Alonso to the Orioles or Schwarber back to the Phillies. Nothing on the pitching side of things, on the kind of for the starters. But this is the time where I think everyone kind of gets a little bit anxious, waiting for that thing to happen. And it's kind of a matter of when, not if, because eventually these guys will sign. It's just when. And I think that's what kind of gives everyone a little bit of anxiety, just kind of waiting and not knowing how long you're going to have to wait.
Yeah, it's once those significant guys start to sign, and then there's fewer significant guys, so there's more tension, especially when you're in the market for one of those guys. Like if we were A's fans, like are we really killing ourselves over Alex Bregman's free agent market? Probably not, because we're more worried about Miguel Andujar's market, and like he'll sign in January or February, as it is. And the point of this stream is, again, there's nothing really tangible to talk about with the Red Sox. So for those of you watching, whether it be on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, feel free to drop a comment. This is where you can get out your frustrations. Yell at us on behalf of, get your anger that you have towards John Henry out on us. Throw out some hot takes, throw out some trade packages. We've got baseball trade values on standby. We'll add our own commentaries. We put them into the deals or into the trade simulator, and we'll talk through it. We'll flash the comments on the screen as well. So yeah, feel free to drop any sort of comments. Tell us that we suck, whatever. Just interact as much as you want. Again, this is a therapy session. We are not here to judge you unless you're suggesting trading Duran for, like, I don't even know,
Peanuts.
Jordan Montgomery. Oh, he's a free agent, so you can't do that. Peanuts, yeah.
Jordan Montgomery would be worse than Peanuts, but that's
if we're doing the Kyle Korver trade for cash and then buy a fax machine with the cash kind of deal, like that's the one that we won't cast judgment unless you're getting that ridiculous. So
they're gonna buy a stake in Kalshi.
Yeah, this is a safe space, and hi to you as well. I don't know. I won't judge. The question marks make me a little scared that's the first comment we got today. Are you surprised that you're subscribed to us? That's probably what it is.
Probably just sit and wait and like what's gonna happen. I think the big issue with I've had lengthy discussions with this with Jason. So shout out Jason. We've had a ton of discussions, especially with potential lockout coming in. We've had a lot of talks. How do you fix the offseason? And every single thing we come up with is either too complicated to will never happen, or a mixture of both, or it's just not feasible. Like even if you think it could happen, you just know it's not, because it's, baseball also too just doesn't do things in a way like, oh, put a period where teams can only sign players between this time and that time. They're never going to do that though. Like,
And if they
even though
do,
it
it's
makes
gonna
sense.
it's gonna be the end of that time frame that those guys are gonna sign anyway. It's all you're
Exactly.
doing. All you're doing is just like, okay, they have to sign by December 31st, which I guess
Yeah.
now that it's December
I mean,
18th.
my thought process was make free agency start after the Rule 5 draft. That was my thought process. Do
You're
the 5 draft the beginning of winter meetings and then have free agency start the next day.
It's not a bad idea. So you're just limiting the amount of time, and then there's like a tampering period or something like that
Yeah.
we see in the NFL
Yeah,
and
that's the
other
entire
leagues.
winter meetings.
Yeah.
That's the
So
entire winter meetings.
yeah, it's not a bad idea. I do agree that there needs to be something that makes free agency a little bit more exciting, because at the end of the day, this is an entertainment business, but it's also a business. Like, these guys have to decide what their future is.
But also,
So
free agency starting like a week after the World Series. It's like nobody's signing right away. Like, these teams have
yeah, except
other
for Josh
priorities as
Naylor.
well. Yeah, except for Josh Naylor.
Yeah.
But like, these teams have other priorities. Like, it's like the whole thing of like, I pitched to Jason the idea of like, it would never be able to happen. But if they could find a way to get the MLB draft in the offseason, it'd make everyone's life easier. Because, especially like during the season, because the issue with like trades mid-season are GMs are so, and front offices are so geared up for the draft. And now that the draft's in July, they're basically up until July draft focus, and then they only have like 2 weeks to really lock in on the trade deadline. Right?
Yeah,
That's why we don't see trades happen in June.
the draft being in July really throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that being. I get why that's
Yeah,
a thing.
because the issue is you can't be sending kids, having guys go into college for a semester, and then their first semester in college, or they return the semester after they return for the first semester of their senior year, and then they get drafted, and then it's like, well, they just spent a semester at college for what reason, right? Or these high school seniors, are they going to have to not commit to college and wait, right? It ends up being really weird, so it doesn't really work. But I was like, what, like, because like in the NHL teams, like if you draft like in the NHL, you're drafting guys like basically out of high school at like 18 years old. And if they go to college, the team still retains their rights, right? Even if they go to college. And I'm like, if only MLB could do something like that, but they get so complicated because they're also drafting guys out of high school. I mean, out of high school and out of college. So it just becomes.
It's too early for rage bait with the Nick Castellanos trade. Let's not do that.
No.
Let's not do that. If that
Well,
were
also that's bad rage bait as well. That's we need like throw something a little bit more believable if you're gonna try that.
3 out of 10 rage bait.
But
righty power though.
Well, like also, God, don't get me started on the power thing. But there, but also too, like I was like, if you could put the MLB draft in November and then the Rule 5 draft like beginning of December at the beginning of the winter meetings, and then free agency starts after that, like, you would be golden. But they'll never be able to do that just because timing wise it won't work. Which is unfortunate. But like perfect, like dream world, like if you like would be amazing. Just they'll never do it.
Yeah.
Or they could just make the draft a free for all like they do international amateur free agency. That we'll never do that. Obviously, I'm not stupid. I'm just
that would be
it would just be funny at this point, in all honesty. It would just be funny.
That'd be crazy. The Dodgers get even more.
But you only
especially in the day and age that we live in now, where everybody's a bandwagon. Everyone's signing with the Dodgers. Like you think free agency is bad with star players going to the Dodgers. Now imagine the Dodgers get to sign every first round. I mean, obviously there'd be
Jake Hunter and I were making the point on the minor league show Sunday night. It came out on Monday morning. Because the Red Sox agreed with someone in the 2029 class on a $3.1 million deal. And it's like, this kid's like 12 or 13 years old. Like, imagine going to a middle schooler and being like, here's $3 million. We're going to give this to you when you're 16, which is still like 10th grade age. Like, that's essentially what the Red Sox have done. And that's not like, this happens all the time in baseball, right? This isn't like this happened and it's not rare and it's like rare. Like, this is not rare at all. This is very common. And like, imagine like stateside of like the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Dodgers or the whatever, or hell, the Blue Jays because they're in Canada, going up to some 12 or 13-year-old kid at a, at some or like going to the Little League World Series and handing a kid an agreement for $3 million in Williamsport.
Imagine Big Al getting approached by the fucking Yankees back in, what was it, 2017? Like that, and definitely would be the Yankees because they've had all the big guys that hit dingers: Babe Ruth, Mike Ford, the Luke Voit for a brief period before he got
Big Al's
skinny.
too nice though. He's too nice.
He is.
Way too nice.
Definitely definitely a Red Sox, for sure. Although now he's gotten skinny.
It's a free agent there too.
He's skinny, Al. Yeah, but
hey, the personality is still big though.
Yeah, he's still Big Al in our hearts at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, curious. I mean, you said you've hashed this out with Jason. Shout out Jason. We've both shouted him out now.
Yeah.
If we do it one more time, he gets summoned and he'll end up joining the stream. It's like Beetlejuice. But what are some of these theories that you guys have come up with as far as salvaging the Red Sox offseason? Because I have my own.
Oh, there is some wild ones.
Curious. Let's start with the most unhinged one, and then and then I want to hear the second one. I want to be the most realistic one you guys have.
The most unhinged one, and this isn't necessarily a want to happen. This is just at this point, like chaos activate mode. And it's they signed Murakami to play third base. And it is
you've told me about this one.
Yes. Well, no, but the unhinged mode is like you sign because I checked it in our group chat. You sign Murakami to play third base, because you didn't want Devers to play third because his defense is so bad, but now you're gonna just go sign Murakami, whose defense is notoriously terrible, and you're gonna stick him at third base. Also, you want a power hitter. There's your power hitter, right? But all these years of asking for guys who don't strike out, I mean, Murakami, he's going to strike out. Jason made a great comparison. Like, he might be what 2023 Kyle Schwarber was, just a little bit worse. Like, that was the year Schwarber hit 197 but had 47 homers. Like,
yeah, so we're looking at probably a similar batting average with like 30 home runs.
I'd say 30. I could say 35.
Yeah, Saris, I apologize if I mispronounced his last name. He did post like a spreadsheet of people who have similar max exit velo with zone contact rate. I'm gonna put this up on the screen.
Yeah, it's not great. It is not great, but there were I didn't see in the comments of that. I think there were a couple of people left off who were somewhat similar.
Yeah, he did add Nick Kurtz to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're looking at the guys on the screen, I mean, the thing that I will say is these guys had a shelf life of being very good players.
Yes.
Like especially like Gallo had like a 5-year peak.
Wallner's been solid as well.
Wallner's been good. Like Chris Carter led the league in home runs one year. He had a couple of good years.
Zunino had a couple of really good years.
Zunino had a few good years. Chris Davis hit 247 every year for half a decade, but he was constantly like a 120 WRC plus guy. JD Davis even had a few good years. And Nick Kurtz, obviously, like the extreme example, was rookie of the year and went crazy in 2025. Yeah. But like there's precedent for guys with that profile being successful players. And like if you're signing Murakami, he's younger than a lot of those guys were, but you're only signing him for like 5 or 6 years. If he's good for 4 of them, I feel like you got your money's worth. I'm not advocating for the Sox to sign him.
No, I'm not either. But like,
I think there's a reality where he's good.
Yeah, and I mean, Jason and I were like kind of just yapping, and I'm like, what about like he might be Casas with more power, but like less walks, right? Like, there's a legitimate chance. Like, and I'm not.
Or is he just Casas with more strikeouts? Because I
don't. Well, more strikeouts too, but Casas, I know Casas when he did struggle this year before he got hurt, but like there were a lot of strikeouts there. But yes, probably more strikeouts too. But because my thought process with that was, if you look at Casas in 23, obviously Casas higher average laws. Like Casas with a lower average, more strikeouts and a little bit less walks probably. But like Casas in 23, 502 plate appearances, 263 average, 24 homers, right? With Murakami, and then in 2024, 63 games, he had 13 home runs. He had a 241 average. I feel like if you average Costas' career numbers, like because he hit 241 hitter, 45 homers in 251 games. I think if you look at, I feel like Murakami has a chance to legitimately be like it's.
That
I don't want to say Schwarber, right? But I don't want it because that's a really But like he legitimately, he has like he could put up a wacky 60 homer season like Cal Raleigh did, if everything goes right for him. Right, and now that's if everything goes right for Murakami, right? But he has that type of power where you look at like Cal Raleigh hit like what 230 this year, 240, and put up 60 homers.
something like that. I think it was like
Yeah.
246 or something.
Yeah, but like over his career, he's been like a 225 hitter. Like Murakami, like if everything goes right, could be a similar hitter to like Raleigh in terms of the fact of like, yeah, he might have that perfect season where he hits 60 homers. But like, yeah, not gonna strike out a ton, not gonna hit for average, but he can give you 35, 40 homers.
Well, what kind of deal do you want
You
him?
have to. I think you have to give him a long-term deal if you're going for him. You can't give him a short-term deal because I do think there is going to be a little bit of an adjustment period for him, which is, I think, the issue. I think when you look at Murakami, he was hurt, right? I think that's one thing we do have to recognize. He was hurt this year. When he did play, he was launching balls into orbit, right? He played in 56 games this year. He hit 22 home runs and had a 211 weighted runs created plus. And those 22, that's in an extreme dead ball Japan. Extreme dead ball, right? I'm not saying Murakami is going to come over and be super successful, but there's no hitter that has come over from Japan with that kind of power potential. I mean, the guy broke the single season home run record for most homers in a year by a Japanese-born player in the NPP, right? He legitimately, like, if you're talking 80 grade power, he has that, right? Nobody else, like, who else has 80 grade power? Like
Schwarber,
and like that's probably it.
Kurtz maybe, but also like how much of that was the Sacramento air because that ballpark, the ball flies out of there.
But I wouldn't say he had 80 grade power though. I'd say he's probably closer to like 70 grade power than 80.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't see 80. Like I think Vladdy might have been given 80 grade power when he was a prospect. Right.
Yeah, and then he decided that he wanted to be I know lift for 3 years and nuke his own power.
I don't remember if he had 80 grade power or if he had an 80 grade hit tool. I don't remember which one. One of them was
80 grade hit tool, I believe. I mean, that dude's a freak. I mean, obviously the command of the strike zone, the bat to ball, and the power. Like he is like if you needed to build a perfect hitter, it's honestly Vladdy. It's pretty much it's because like Judge as great as Judge is, and I'm not like this isn't me saying
MLB Pipeline gave him 70 grade hit, 60 grade power. I think someone had him at 80 grade power.
I think it's actually pretty on the nose. I think it's pretty on the nose. 70 grade hit, 60 grade power. But I'm not saying that Vladdy's a better hitter than Judge. I'm not saying that Vladdy's a better player than Judge. I'm saying if you're building a perfect hitter, to me, it's like you have the balance of hit, like bat to ball, walks, like command of the strike zone, not necessarily just walks, because obviously if you hammer strikes, you're not going to get into a lot of deep counts where you're going to draw a lot of walks. And then, power. I think it's Vladdy. Because Judge, I think, strikes out like double as frequently.
He swings and misses a lot. His whiff rate was like second percentile.
Yeah, which is not, again,
he's still
whatever.
But
like when he makes contact, he again, Judge is the second best player in baseball. That's like I'm saying that now, hot take of the stream. But I think if you're building the perfect hitter, it is Vladdy. Nobody really comes close to that, like that level of bat to ball, command of the zone, not whiffing.
I think the other thing I've mentioned, the big one I've mentioned with Jason though, is signing Bichette at like any whatever. Like, and I am of the belief that like Bichette could play second or third base. Like full belief that he could play either. Right. And the Bregman thing is interesting in terms of like maybe the Diamondbacks being interested. just because the Diamondbacks signed Bregman, like they could still just keep Cattell. Like he's on a team friendly deal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that infield that they could roll out with Bregman at third, Perdomo at short, and then Marte at second, just like
It's one of
that's
the
an
best defensive infields in the sport. It's one of the
yes.
best offensive infields in the sport. Like again, like I seriously think I'm with John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports on this, where I think it's about getting the bigger market teams to play ball because there is recent precedent of the Diamondbacks swooping in and snagging a guy. We saw it
Yep.
last year with Corbin Burns. We saw it. I
Albeit
mean,
it seemed like Burns wanted to go there, but
yeah, Burns did seem to want to go there. I think he's from there.
yes.
So it makes sense. Although Bregman's got a home there in Scottsdale,
And he's
so
from New Mexico.
and he's from New Mexico, so there's it's not an insane thought that Bregman would land there. They also have a talented roster. It just felt like there was something, and maybe it was Cattell. I mean, the way that players wanted to point the fingers, you'd think it was Cattell that blamed that bears the brunt of the responsibility for the missing the playoffs.
They also
But yeah,
desperately need pitching, though. That's I think, and
they
I think
do.
that's why if the Red Sox are reluctant to trade pitching, trading for Cattell doesn't make a ton of sense. Then,
No, it
right?
doesn't.
Like,
But what is the package that you're willing to give up for Cattell Marte?
I think it depends. I like if it's up to me, I'm not giving up Early or Tolle in any trade, just because I feel like the upside's way too high with those guys. The issue is if the Diamondbacks are trading Marte, I think they have to come away with one of those two, right? Unless they're interested in some sort of package with Duran and like Arias and getting one of the other big league able starters, right? Because I don't think the Red Sox trade Bayo, in all honesty. I know it.
No, I think we're a year away from that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think it's a little bit early for it. I don't know where, because like Duran would make sense right now. The Diamondbacks, their outfield per Fangraphs is Blaze Alexander, Alec Thomas, and Corbin Carroll. Duran fits in there perfectly, right?
And like respectfully, I say this with all due respect, Alec Thomas is not it. Um, he was propped up as this tremendous defensive center fielder with some pop, and the bat would come around. The bat has gotten worse, as has his defense. Like his
Yeah.
defense isn't he doesn't grade out very well in center either. If you don't want to give up on him and you can kick him to left field and put Duran in center and let the athleticism kind of take over. But like imagine an outfield of Corbin Carroll and Jarren Duran.
Oh my god, yeah,
Like
crazy.
you could realistically sell yourself on
They could go
competing.
Duran, Perdomo, Carroll in their as 1, 2, 3 in their lineup, and that's
Yeah,
very solid.
that's nasty. And then
My
if they
only
want to,
concern on that would be, and at least for that is like Carroll and Duran are somewhat similar, like speed first outfielders, like, and they both like Duran strikeouts more than Carroll. I know Carroll obviously more power potential there, but like they both do strike out a decent amount, and so it's like okay, they are a little bit similar profiles,
they are.
right? I think that's the only
Corbin
thing.
Carroll is Jarren Duran, but a little bit better at everything.
Yes, basically, yes.
Which is
And
why
throws
he's
left-handed.
an MVP candidate, and he throws left-handed. Yeah. But
I'm
I
not
like,
going to stick him at second base.
yeah, I'm with you. I think you have to part with one of Tolle or Early. Now, if you had to pick, which one is it? Which one are you more comfortable trading?
I don't know. Here's the interesting thing, right? I historically I have liked high floor prospects more than high upside prospects. And my thought process with Tolle is if all else fails, he's your closer, right? Which is still very valuable. Um, the issue is Early's floor might be that of a mid-rotation starter, and that's where it's like, is that a higher floor than a closer? But then again, like Edwin Diaz just got 3 for 69 with the Dodgers, and if Tolle's a damn good closer, like, is that more valuable than a 4 starter, right? Because to some people it might be, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of 4 starter he is. Is he just the 4th best starter on the team? Is he a guy that is he 5 and dive? Is he an innings eater, but his ERA is in like the mid 4s? Like
Yeah,
it kind of depends how it looks, I think.
exactly. And I think in some ways I would lean Tolle, keeping Tolle just because the upside is so much higher. Whereas, not that I don't think early can be really good. I like Tolley has legitimate like front line of the rotation upside, whereas early I don't think has that same upside, right?
Yeah.
It does not mean early cannot be good, right? Early could legitimately be a number 2 starter. Legitimately could be. Totally could be an ace if everything pans out.
Yeah, we're talking like again, it's what makes the conversation so difficult and like which is why when we see all the takes on Twitter about like, oh, it's super easy to just make this trade. Like one, GMs aren't just on the phone with the GM of that other team all day. That's not how that works. Second, like this is a very difficult conversation to have for us, and we have zero power over this
Also, we've had
decision.
Tolley on the show, so let's keep Tolley.
We have had Tully on the show as Matt's brought up. Early hasn't been on the show, so but
A little bit of bias.
it's a difficult call to make. For me, I'm with you. I think I would have less of a hard time hitting send on the trade if it's early. Because I think I'm with you with it when it comes to pitchers. Sometimes I like to go with the safer bet, and I think early is the much safer bet because he's got so much better feel for his secondaries already. But the thing is, Toley's fastball is so much better.
It's absurd.
It is like it's crazy how much better his fastball is. Where if he even adds one secondary, and he talked about it in his interview with us about kind of some of the stuff he's working on in the off season as far as body efficiencies, adding more, to his cutter, adding, getting more out of his secondaries than he was able to get in his cup of coffee in 2025. I think for me, the package that I think makes a lot of sense for both parties is Duran and Connolly early. That's the package that I think I've settled on. The question becomes like they want Marcelo Meyer. Breslow seems to think the Red Sox can get that trade done without including Meyer. But the thing is, if you're trading Marcelo, that it means two things. One, you can't let Bregman go.
You lost your Bregman leverage. Unless your leverage is
Bo Bichette.
Yeah. Which I think it could be. I literally just said like 5 minutes ago, I think Bo can play third base.
Yeah, it could be.
And I would honestly, hot take, I'd take Bo over Bregman. Like, I would.
It's a similar for me. It's a similar conversation to which one are you more comfortable trading, early or Tolley? Like for me, like I think if we're going based on, I mean, the floor for Bo Bichette, I'm not counting 2024 against him. Like that year, that chalked that year up to injury. His floor as a big leaguer has been a 120 WRC plus. We've already seen, I think, 3 years of Alex Bregman below that. At least 2. I know 2024.
There are injury concerns there as well.
Yeah, and he's had like a significant quad injury twice in his career. Now that can be chalked up to it can be fluky, whatever. But so it means two things for me. If you're trading Marcelo, one, you have to land Bichette or Bregman. Yeah. 2, you are pretty damn confident that Franklin Arias is going to be an effective big league player. And there's questions about whether or not he can hit enough to sustain a big league career, a successful big league career. Are you able to survive having multiple Cedar Rafaela archetypes in your lineup? Defensively, I think he can. Offensively, he's got to add a little bit of damage to his game for me to think he can really stick. For me, the floor for being content with trading Marcelo for Cattell, as far as Arias is concerned, is he needs to be somewhere between 2024 or 2023 and 2024 Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, I feel like Arias is like I've made the Bogarts comp, and not in terms of like exactly like player type. Obviously, Bogarts is bigger, but like where Bogarts as a prospect was like, I think the big thing for him was like he does a lot of things really well, but he doesn't do anything like great. You could argue maybe the hit tool was great, but even then, there wasn't a ton of arguments that it was great. It was more that it was good, but not like elite, right? And I think Arias is almost in that same boat. He does a lot of things really good, but is there anything he does great? I don't know. But he's so well-rounded, right? And He's almost like I hate saying this. He's almost like right-handed Marcelo Meyer if Meyer wasn't like the number one prospect in his draft class. If Meyer was like the 50th prospect in his draft class, like
Yeah,
that's what
I think I
Arias
can get
is.
behind that take.
Because Meyer
To,
is like because Meyer does like it's not Roman Anthony with the crazy skills of like Meyer is gonna do everything good. He's not gonna stand out in terms of like he's not gonna hit 35 homers most likely. He's not gonna hit 300. He's not gonna he probably won't win a Gold Glove just because of how hard it is to win a Gold Glove nowadays, right? Especially at shortstop, right? At shortstop, he probably won't win a Gold Glove, but he's still going to be a solid defender. He's going to be a solid bat in your lineup. He's not going to do anything that's going to go over the top. Like, he's not going to win any MVPs. But he can be your everyday shortstop for the next 10 plus years, if you believe in him, right? And he's going to probably get some all-star appearances in there. Is he going to win an MVP? No, right? But, like, he definitely could be an all-star for, he definitely could be a 5, 6, 8, 9-time all-star. Right, I skipped a certain number just to avoid to avoid it. Yeah, avoid a meme. But whereas like Arias, like I see Arias as like a little bit less than that. Whereas like Arias could be a team's everyday shortstop. Is he going to be an all-star? Maybe, maybe not. Right? Who knows? It could be a down year for all-star shortstops, maybe. But like Arias definitely could be an everyday shortstop. It's just how much is he going to contribute, right? Because what the Atlanta Braves right now, what their shortstop before they signed Ha-Seong Kim was like, is Mauricio Dubon going to be their shortstop, right? And there's nothing wrong with Mauricio
or Nacho
Dubon.
Alvarez.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Mauricio Dubon, but like, that shouldn't be your starting shortstop, right? And I think that's the concern for Arias is like, yeah, he obviously doesn't have as high as a floor as Meyer does, but like, who knows, right? I had previously been against trading Arias. I'm not against it now. It's just depends on what it's for. I think is more so the thing because it's one of those things. And I mentioned this on the minor league show. Jake and I kind of went into this a little bit. I know Jake wrote something for Beyond the Monster, kind of on the idea of like you do need to develop talent in the minor leagues, and yeah, that talent might be used in trades, right? But I brought it up like Brandon Clark, right? They draft him, gets a $400,000 signing bonus, and a year and 5 months later, he's your lead piece in a Sonny Gray trade. That is a win for the Red Sox, right? They turned a guy that they gave a $400,000 signing bonus to into Sonny Gray, obviously with Richard Fitz. But then if you kind of look at the Fitz side of it, you turned one kind of crummy year of Alex Verdugo into Weissert, Nicholas Giudice, who's still in the system, 2 years of Richard Fitz, and
now
part
Sonny
of
Gray.
Yeah, now Sonny Gray, right? So like if you take one crummy year of Verdugo that you traded away and a $400,000 signing bonus that you gave Brandon Clark, you turn that into Sonny Gray plus Weissert plus a prospect that's still in your system. Oh, and you still have the 2 years that Fitz was up and down between the big leagues and AAA before you traded Fitz as well.
Yeah.
Like that like stuff like that is a win for the Red Sox. And those are small wins. A lot of people are going to be like, well, why does that matter? But like overall, things like that do add up. The question now becomes with someone like you trade away someone like Clark, it's okay, who's coming in the system to replace him, right? We like the Red Sox that you trade away Teal, Montgomery, more so trading away Montgomery and Teal, right? The question is who's replacing those guys. Montgomery's their top outfield prospect, and they've traded away now Tibbs and Earhart and et cetera, Justinson, right? And you trade away Teal, it's who's the next one up. There's replenished kind of that catching depth in the system now. Now the question is on the outfield side, who's going to be that next guy to really kind of step up? On the pitching side, they've done a great job, right? Bayo leaves the system, and you start seeing guys like Dobbins getting called up and Fitz, but then you bring it, and you have coming right behind Tolley, Early, etc. Sandlin, right? And now you draft Kyson Witherspoon. You get Anthony Ianson, Marcus Phillips, right? And you kind of have this cycle where you trade away Brandon Clark, but yeah, look who's debuting next year in the system. Ianson, Phillips, Witherspoon, et cetera, run down the list, right? So I think you have to have everything. And for the Red Sox, like just trading Meyer away for a big leaguer, right? Where especially like not Marte necessarily, but just trading Meyer for the sake of trading Meyer, I don't think is the right move because there's so much he can still give you over the next 6+ years. Although it is interesting they haven't signed him to an extension yet. That is the interesting.
He's the only one from that big three that they have not extended. The only other one the only other one from the big four they traded.
Yes. And they're apparently interested in bringing him back, apparently.
And they are apparently interested in bringing him back. Maybe they'll trade Marcelo for him. Who knows?
Yeah. No, the White Sox don't need a shortstop. So
that's true. But they don't really. I mean, they could use a second baseman. I mean, Colson Montgomery and Marcelo Meyer up the middle is pretty nasty.
Yeah, but Chase Majoff, respect Chase Majoff.
I don't. It's not a disrespect thing. You can stick Majoff at third.
Hey,
Miguel Vargas goes to first base. Whatever.
To quote Jake, he's a fucking ball player. Okay.
He is.
Quote Jake.
He is. There was a period of time where I missed him more than Kyle Teal last year. It was mostly.
I think there was for a few people.
Mostly during David Hamilton gate, that stretch of play.
Well, the thing with Majoff too, it's like God, he hits right-handed too. Like this lineup was so left-handed heavy. It was Majoff. It's like he also hits right-handed. He doesn't strike out a lot. Like, and Yoshida was like, often Lord knows where.
The glue factory.
It was, I don't know where he was, but it was like,
my man was being a GTA NPC.
Yeah. It might have been a GTA 6 NPC considering how long it took for him to get back.
That's very true. Although he did come back, unlike GTA 6. But it did get delayed several times.
Yeah, it got delayed several times. That's more to the point.
Just to put a bow on my Arias point, this is the average first 2 years for Anthony Volpe in Major League Baseball. It was 3.3 WAR, 16 or 17 home runs. I'm gonna round up in all the half cases. 25 doubles, 6 triples, 17 home runs, 60 ribbies, 26 stolen bases, an OPS of just 661. But I think from a counting stat standpoint and a WAR standpoint, because the defense is why that WAR was so high. I think that's perfectly fine. The only problem is you'd have 2 of those guys because you'd also have Cedon doing the same exact thing. But
Cedon is also too with center field and
those are the two most important defensive positions on the field.
Well, no, it is, but like but you make the argument Red Sox have Meyer, right? And I know it's if you trade Meyer, but like still like Red Sox have Meyer, like you don't need to get rid of Meyer. Also, too, Arias is a little small for the shortstop position.
Yeah, but BA seems to really think. I mean, I know that soft prospect.
I think he can stick it short, but he is short he is a little bit small for the position.
Yeah, that is true.
I do think he can stick there, but if you're just going by like size, like height, like a little bit small.
Not a lot of small shortstops out there.
Yes, there's not a ton of them. Mookie Betts is playing shortstop, right? Like I'm not saying Arias, like Mookie Betts is short, like for a baseball player, right? But he's playing shortstop, right? So I'm not saying Arias can't. It's not, especially traditionally, it's not common.
But also, in the same breath, like if in an effort to maybe preserve Ketel's body, because again, in this hypothetical, like we're trading Marcelo Meyer for Ketel Marte, like there's nobody else out there that I'm looking at and I'm saying, yeah, I would trade Marcelo for him. Ketel, I think about it, obviously depending on what the rest of the package looks like, but I'm at least thinking about it. I'm not hanging up the phone and saying, hell no, like pleasure doing business with you. Just don't trade him to the Rays.
I mean, I'd consider Tatis. That's my real
but I still don't think that's a real thing. I don't think
it is either. But like, but still, I'll throw it in the universe. Like, would I trade Meyer and Tatis?
Yes, I would trade Marcelo for.
I'd trade Duran and Marcelo, and even be willing to go with something else. In all honesty,
yeah, I don't think there's a person in the organization outside of Roman and Crochet that I wouldn't trade for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Trying to think.
Obviously, there's a limit to the amount of those guys I would trade at once.
I think that's obviously, yeah. I think I'm with you on that. I was trying to think. I'm like, is there someone I'm forgetting off the top? No, all right, we're good.
No, I mean, like it would hurt. It would hurt to trade Toley, but against Fernando Tatis Jr., like that's one of the 10 to 15 best players in the sport,
and it allows you to trade both Duran and Willier.
Yeah.
Or even just stick Tatis at short, and I know he wasn't great defensively there, but like Trevor Story might have the yips. Let's be honest.
But also, like Mookie was an infielder that got converted to the outfield, became an elite outfielder, and then got converted back to the infield and was an elite infielder.
Exactly.
So
Well,
like,
to be fair, Mookie was mostly moved off a second because he wasn't playing second base over Dustin Pedroia.
that's a very good point.
Like, I know it's not the only reason, but like, Mookie was never playing second base over Dustin Pedroia. I don't think you could have pulled like, I don't know who's like probably the greatest second baseman of all time. Like, you could have pulled Rogers Hornsby out of his grave and like changed and made him like as amazing as he was way back when, and he still probably wouldn't have played second base over Pedroia.
Yeah, I don't think displacing Dustin Pedroia would have been in the Red Sox best interest. Because you want to talk about a guy that would have 100% requested a trade. Yeah, if he had been like,
I don't think he would have requested a trade. I think he would have tore the clubhouse down.
Yeah, you thought Devers reacted poorly to the premise of having to switch positions. Like, pause, but Pedroia would have set the clubhouse on fire.
Well, also too, because if you move Pedroia off second base, where is he gonna play? Like
DH, but then you have David Ortiz.
Yeah, exactly. There is nowhere else. Pedroia
Although to be fair, Dustin Pedroia or David Ortiz retired after 2016, and Mookie really broke out in 15.
Yeah, but but they moved Mookie when he was in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
But also too, like Pedroia played like one game in left field for like the USA like collegiate team or whatever, and like got like a black eye because he got hit in the eye with like a fly ball or something. So like I don't think Pedroia was gonna play anywhere else. Yeah, because that team had like it was like Pedroia, Ian Kinsler, and there was like a couple other like good shortstops on that team. Like I think Ricky Weeks might have been on that team or something too. Like I know.
Wait, what team is this again?
It was like the USA like college. Pedroia wrote it was in his like Pedroia's book that came out. Like
yeah, I read that book when I was like 15.
Yeah,
long ass time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm trying to think.
ASU had a nice little pipeline going for a bit because they also had Ethier came out like a few years after Petey did. Yeah, Kinsler for a year. Kinsler took Pedroia's job at ASU when Pedroia got drafted, and then Kinsler took Pedroia's job in Boston when Pedroia got hurt, and the Red Sox traded for him. But yeah, I think I'm
trying to figure out like what the like who was on that roster.
Ricky Weeks is a deep cut. Remember when he swung and missed in the home run derby?
Oh God! Oh, that's rough.
Like he's the only person I think that makes Jazz Chisholm's home run derby look acceptable. Because I don't think he homered. No, but I don't think he homered, and that was the 10-out system, so he could take every pitch he wanted to. He swung and missed. And I think he also had like a pop-up to shortstop in the derby. Like you want to talk about a dude who wasn't ready for prime time. And that was only, I think that was at Chase Field, if I remember correctly. It was one of the just worst performances I've ever seen, regardless of profession.
Oh, JJ Hardy was the shortstop on that team, I think.
Oh, okay. JJ Hardy, another deep cut. JJ Hardy pissed me off when he was a Baltimore Oriole, by the way. Remember that little, I think he had a grand slam off Buchholz that was like 302 feet down the right field line. Like it literally snuck out.
Yes.
Shortest home run I've ever seen hit off of Clay Buchholz, of all people. You needed another excuse to give Clay Buchholz as to why he got rocked. I got pesquied. But anyway.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
I'm looking for see if there's anything I can find, but I'm not.
Well, while you're looking, moving on to another Red Sox offseason topic here is the need to move an outfielder. And the most recent reporting we've seen, and I don't know if this is me reading too much into it, but Jeff Passan this morning did like his MLB offseason update and did like a temperature check on the trade market. And Willie Abreu's name was not mentioned in the list of players that he had as available for trade. Duran was still in there. So I don't know if I'm reading too much into that, but it seems like, the what we all believed kind of all along, Duran's the guy that's going to get moved if it's any of them. But then the question becomes, what's the best trade package for the Boston Red Sox that involves trading Duran? I think at the beginning of the offseason, it was You're trading Duran with the hopes of finding a player at another position that you need help at. And like I know I brought up trading him for Ketel Marte earlier, but Duran's in a very difficult position because he's 29. No bad team is trading a good player for him. No good team is really in business in the of the mindset that they should make another part of their roster worse to acquire him.
Unless it's like an obscene strength.
Yes. So like
which doesn't really exist.
Which doesn't exist. Like I know that we talk about the Royals with Cole Reagans, but like you trade Cole Reagans, you have Chris Bubich, who's the rental at the top of the rotation. Like Seth Lugo wasn't good last year.
Yeah, Michael Wacha's old.
Michael Wacha's old, and as good as he's been since, ironically, really, I mean, he was good with the Red Sox, but like really good since leaving the Red Sox. And then like Noah Cameron made a bid for Rookie of the Year, but all of his under the hood, like nothing super impressive.
It's a little bit scary.
Nothing super impressive about him. Now that doesn't mean he's not going to be a very good pitcher, but like we're not banking on him. I wouldn't be banking on him emerging as an ace next year. Like they're not going to trade Cole Reagans for Jarren Duran. It'd be Duran plus, and Duran plus a considerable amount, in my opinion. Like the pitcher that I think Kansas City would part with is Chris Bubich. And like, I know that that's a guy that is very dicey in and of itself. A ton of injuries, rotator cuff at the end of the year is what shutdown is 2025. But numbers wise, one of the better pitchers in the sport, another lefty. He's a guy that I think I would be willing to put above Sonny Gray in the rotation, but the medicals, the fact he's a rental, but Kansas City would also have to add more. And one of the trade packages I proposed, which really upset a lot of Royals fans, which makes sense because catcher is not a position of strength for them. Sal Perez is old. They don't want him catching all the time anymore. But the trade package that I proposed for Duran was centered around Chris Bubich and Carter Jensen coming to Boston. The Red Sox send Duran, Kyle Harrison, and David Hamilton to the Kansas City Royals. I checked this on baseball trade values today. I wrote about this 3 days ago, so it wasn't just me playing God in baseball trade simulator and coming up with trade packages. It works from their surplus value model. Again, that doesn't matter so much in the sense that you have to add the context of the Royals don't really have a great catching room, period. Like Blake Mitchell's in Double A.
They traded Freddie Fermin.
They traded Freddie Fermin to San Diego. I mean, there's decent free agent catchers out there. Like there's still Victor Caratini. He's still available. Jonah Heim is out there, and he's a World Series champ. That means something. I mean, it did for Royals fans trying to prop up Sal Perez's Hall of Fame candidacy. And then obviously Sal Perez is still going to catch. He's not going to catch a ton. He probably catch like 40 or 50 games.
Yeah, well, it's basically a backup catcher.
Yeah. And then obviously DH. I know that Royals fans and some Red Sox fans proposed the idea of trading Duran for Vinny Pasquantino. I don't think people understand how, like, as awesome of a Twitter follower as he is, and like his counting stats were really good last year. 116 WRC plus and 1.5 WAR. He's not a very good defensive first baseman.
He's weird. He's so weird for the first base position.
Yeah, like he's conventionally a good first baseman, but he had 32 home runs.
No, but like his power profile, like I remember seeing his power profile lines up more with like a Freddie Freeman type. Which don't get me wrong, Freddie Freeman's really good, but like I don't think Vinny Pasquantino is Freddie Freeman, right? Like
no. He's like baby Freddie Freeman. But
yes, exactly.
But I don't think his ceiling is that.
No, he's like a poor man's Freddie Freeman, which is nothing to scoff at. But
I'm not trading Duran for him.
And the whole thing, the Red Sox this entire offseason have been, we want a power bat, and if you're getting a power bat, they're probably going to play first base or third base. And Pasquantino is not that power bat, right? He's not, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think he's an all-around hitter. He can hit homers, but like he's not like when the Red Sox say or make a mention of we want a power bat, like as much as I don't like Pete Alonso fits that mold. As much as I don't love the idea of Eugenio Suarez at all, like he fits that mold, right? Like if you want a power hitter, like Vinny Pasquantino is not a power hitter. He's a good all-around hitter, not
Yeah.
a power hitter, right?
He's a good hitter that can hit for power.
Yes.
I would view Ketel Marte the same way. Ketel's an elite hitter that can hit for power,
Yeah.
but he's not a power hitter. He's just a dude who, when everything goes right, can run into 35. He's done it. He did it, I think, 2 years ago. He had 36.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't view Vinny Pasquantino as a power bat. I view him as a pretty good hitter that can run into a decent amount. I mean, his Savant page is nice. Like, I'll share it on the screen just so people can look at it and tell us we're stupid, because his expected slugging is like 73rd percentile or something.
Yeah, but like doubles help your.
Yeah, like a 456 expected slug, so 74th percentile. I mean, he's
you know what Freddie Freeman's expected slug was last year? 460.
Yeah,
right. And he hit.
But also Freddie's a much better first baseman than Vinny
True.
P. Like, Vinny's a DH. So I guess if you're thinking conventionally a DH
He's a poor man's
hits
Freddie
30.
Freeman.
Yeah. And Nolan Shawnuel is a poor man's Vinny Pasquantino. I had to take a shot at Nolan Shawnuel. I don't know why, but like I've made him like my public enemy number one.
He's homeless Freddie Freeman.
For like literally no reason. I've just decided that not Vinny P, that Nolan Shawnuel's catching strays for me all off season. Just any chance I get, I'm like, by the way, the Angels need a new first baseman.
Yeah. I wonder if I like, thing is though, like, we talk about like Willier maybe not being the one out, but like there are teams that like have consistently needed outfielders in the past, like Seattle, but then you look, it's like Duran doesn't fit there, but like Victor Robles was not good last year. It's like they could use a right fielder. But like then again,
for outfield help.
But like I'm looking at Seattle and I'm like, even if they do want Willier, like I feel like they'd just only be inclined to trade Luis Castillo, and he sucks away from home because that is such a pitcher-friendly park.
Or Bryce Miller, who I'm intrigued by, but not enough to trade Willier, because that's
exactly.
It's funny because like I said, we sometimes take for granted how difficult being in that position is, like being the head honcho executive in baseball ops is. Like we just Willier to Seattle makes sense, but like I wouldn't trade Duran for Luis Castillo either.
No,
and I
or like Cincinnati makes a ton of sense. Cincinnati makes a ton of sense for both guys, in all honesty, for Duran and Willier. But it's like you're not going to get Hunter Green. I've thought about like maybe Nick Lodolo's an option, but like,
or Abbott.
I think Lodolo is probably more of an option than Abbott in terms of a trade.
They probably would want Lodolo, but I think they'd settle on Abbott. Abbott, projection models don't love him. I think it's because he pitches to a fair amount of contact and it's a fly ball profile. But
well, like in that ballpark, but he did have
he's a fly ball profile. Yeah, he's a fly ball profile in that ballpark, but he had a 2.87 ERA.
Right. Yeah,
and was an all-star.
Yes,
weird. He's a weird.
That's kind of why I say like Lodolo, because like if you look at that rotation too, like Lodolo only has 2 years of control left, whereas Abbott's got 4 years of control left. Right. That's kind of why I say like Lodolo probably makes most sense as a trade option. Because
they've been waiting for him to come around in Cincy for a long time. He's always been good. It's just like it feels like there's something holding him back every single year.
And it could just be the fact that he's pitching in Cincy, in all honesty.
Maybe.
It might just be. The other thing though, like they have Hunter Green, they have Abbott, Brady Singer's in their rotation, Chase Burns is there, Rhett Lauder was supposed to be a part of that rotation last year and he was just injured all year. Chase Petty's there. He made his big league debut last year, so like they have the starting pitching depth to make a move. And
they said they didn't want to add a ton of payroll. It was Schwarber or nothing.
No, and I think too, like you look at like Lodolo, he did give up 22 home runs last year, but that Cincinnati is so hitter friendly, especially for home runs. It is so hitter friendly. And I wonder, like, if you pull him out of there, does that maybe help Lodolo if he's not in Cincinnati? I'm actually going to look at what his home road splits are right now.
I mean, I'm a sucker for a man with a good changeup, and like opponents hit 201 against his changeup with a 27.5% whiff rate last year. His curveball also filthy, 40% whiff
Oh yeah,
rate,
he's nasty on the
195
road.
on the on the curveball batting average against, 138 was the expected. He throws 4 pitches, all of them 21.7% or higher. So
Yeah,
it is unpredictable, and I think that
yeah.
that's a fun component of Nick Lodolo's game.
4
Obviously,
ERA
him
at
being
home last year, 2.80 ERA on the road.
also, for those keeping score, he is also 6'6". So
Yes.
so he already is probably at the top of Breslow's list just from height.
I mean, he legitimately could be the number 2 starter behind Crochet. Like
He's
if you're
talented enough.
yeah, if you and especially you pulling him out of Cincy as well. Like I said, he had 281 road ERA last year.
Yeah,
Like
he's a good pitcher.
you go Crochet in some and then some order of Gray, Lodolo, and Bayo, 2 through 4. That's a playoff rotation right there.
Yeah,
And
and I
then
mean,
you just gotta figure out 5 then at that point.
I think the Red Sox already have a playoff rotation though.
I
Like
mean, I do too, but
I get
like
that it should be better. Like I'm okay. Like I'm not gonna scoff at they signed Michael King. I'm gonna be like, oh, gross. They didn't need another pitcher. I might chuckle and be like, how about a bat maybe? But
well, I think the bat. I think that's like I think trading Duran or Willier for pitching makes the most sense because you could still trade pitching for a bat if you need a bat, but you also still have the free agent market for a bat. And I don't see them signing a pitcher on free agency unless it's
yeah.
Michael King taking a discount. And I don't know why he would do that outside of the fact that he's from the area. But even then, like, dude, like this is your chance to get your money. You're not playing baseball the rest of your life. Like,
How about a hot take on Michael King? I'd give him 2 for 70.
you know why? I kind of love that because I said my hot take if Gino wants to take like 2 for 60, and I take that over Bregman at like 5 for whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because you're trying to buy out those next 2 years, or maybe to make it more fair to Michael King, instead of absolutely hoeing him out of a huge year for him free agency wise, because he'll be 32 if you sign him to a 2-year
Yeah,
deal.
give
Make
him
it a
like
1+1. Give
yeah,
him like it's 1 for 37, and then a club option for 33 in year 2,
yeah,
which would get
something
declined. So he'd be a free agent after
unless he
2020.
wins the Cy Young or something.
Yeah, but
No,
even still,
it's
Breslow
it's a
probably
team
decline it.
team option that vests if he wins the Cy Young, which
Yeah,
he's not going to.
you
But
have to win the Cy Young to get the option. But like I like Michael King for me, if we were putting, let's go back to the beginning of the offseason, every single starter in a vacuum, like I'm pretending injuries, I turn injuries off. Just going bang for or band for band talent, Michael King would have been SP1 for me.
I mean, I probably lean on but like
Well,
there's question
I guess
marks.
you don't know what he looks like
You don't know.
stateside. I'm not
That is
saying that,
true.
I'm not like
But
he
yes.
probably would have been like SP4. Like I would have been King, small
Well,
gap,
also too,
Cease,
like
large gap, Fromber, and Imai kind
the
of
thing is,
interchangeable in that
well, the thing
3-4
with
spot.
Imai is he doesn't have a QO, which I'm just like,
Oh
which is
no,
why
I'm just
like,
talking. I was
no,
just
I know,
talking
no, I
talent
know, but
wise.
I mean, like, well, even talent wise, though, I would put Imai like right up there. The only thing is, like, for me with like Framber, I had thought for years would have been like perfect because he like not a ton of fly balls. Like I was assuming the Red Sox infield defense would eventually get better by the time he's a free agent, but we now know he's a massive douche. So like, no, no,
Yeah,
thank you.
you just can't unsee cross up gate. Like if you want to because I think historically he doesn't have that makeup issue, but the problem
No,
is you've seen it now.
yeah, and I think the thing is though with him though, like Framber's never gonna win a Cy Young. He's never gonna blow your socks off, but he's gonna consistently give you 5 to 6 innings, if not more, of 2-run ball.
Yeah,
Right?
he's
The
damn
guy is a
good.
quality start like animal. He will go give you 6 innings, 2 runs every start. He had like a 25 start streak or something where he had like 25 straight quality starts in a row at one point. And it's like every single time out, 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 2 runs. He might go 6 innings, 3 runs at like, but like that's the worst quality start you can have. And like he had a quality start like every start for like 25 straight. And it's like that's a guy like in a day and age where, with a quality start being 6 innings, you have to go 6 innings for a quality start. Day and age where starters don't always go deep into games, consistently getting 6 innings from a guy is really valuable, right?
Yeah.
And like Framber could give you that. It just seems like he's a massive douche. which I
Yeah,
don't know if I want that.
I think that the stars are aligning for him to go to the Mets.
I could see that absolutely.
I mean, they have dramatically improved their infield defense by bringing in Marcus Simeon. So up the middle, he's already got the best double play pairing from a defensive standpoint in the league. Um, I would say pretty comfortably too the best. And then like Brett Beatty's a pretty damn good third baseman. Uh, who knows with Jorge Polanco, Mark Vientos, Jeff McNeil contingent at first. I would still add a first baseman. But like, so I think for me, and I know that this is a Red Sox therapy session and we're kind of just talking about everything here. But for me, like if I were the Mets, I'm banking on that being just a disgusting lapse of judgment on Framber's part. I'm giving him the money, getting him in the building. And then my next order of business is signing Ryan O'Hearn and building the best defensive infield in baseball. And just anything hit on the ground, like Framber's going to have like a 2.3 ERA because literally nothing's getting out of the infield.
It would be a great fit for Framber. They will never do it. Kansas City would be a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, nothing hit on the left side of the infield's getting out of there.
Yeah. And also,
how's Massey at second base?
A little bit better than average.
Let's see.
Just a little bit better than average. At least this past year he was. But even
I
then,
Michael Massey a little bit.
But but also too, like you're not good luck hitting home runs in Kansas City. That is not a hitter-friendly ballpark either, right? So if Framber does give up a fly ball, well, odds are it's not going to be a homer because good luck, right?
Yeah, and their outfield defense is okay too. I mean,
Isbell's amazing defensively.
Yeah, Isbell's a very good defensive center, or an elite defensive center fielder. They've got
Cags.
Cags is not, but
although I don't think he should be playing.
But Isaac Collins is.
Yes,
Isaac Collins is another great defensive outfielder, and then Lane Thomas I think is an okay one if I'm remembering him correctly.
If he can hit, that's
that signing for me like screams platoon. And again, like
for sure, he screams platoon with Isbell.
The difficult again another difficult thing about trading Duran, especially to Kansas City, is there still like if they want to go the platoon route with Lane Thomas. Now, this is a dude who has 30 home run power. He's done it before.
He's not great defensively.
He's not okay. So he's not a great defender, but he's a guy that hits for power. He's got a 30 home run season in his career. But if you want to platoon him, like Max Kepler's still out there. He's a solid defensive right fielder. You could run an outfield of Thomas and Kepler in right field. Cags starts the year in AAA.
Or Cags
or you put him at first and you find someone to take Vinny when maybe that's the Angels. Or I
was gonna say, or like Cags could DH a decent little bit. That could be your platoon with Lane Thomas.
But I also think Cags was awful last year.
He was. But I'm thinking along the lines of Cags plays some games in right. He'll play at first when Vinny doesn't play, and then he'll DH when Salvi catches, right? And then Cags doesn't play against lefties. It's kind of where my brain's at. And that
I just don't know if I'm Kansas City, that I feel like the offseason was a success if Jack Caglione is on the opening day roster. Just on the opening day roster. You used a top pick on him. You're not going to have him be a bench bat. So he's going to be either your opening day right fielder, DH, whatever, or he's in AAA.
The thing is, though, it's it's kind of crappy to say, but they already started his clock.
That's their own fault for streamlining him to the major leagues. Now they were pretty desperate, and he did make it difficult for them, but he was not good.
That's why you don't rush guys to the big leagues, though.
Like Nolan Shawwell, you don't want to rush.
So this is why Roman Anthony even took 3 years to get to the big leagues, or not 3 full years, but you get the point. Yeah. Right.
I mean, Cags was a freak in AAA. Maybe you can live with him being your opening day right fielder. I don't want to overreact too much to how bad he was. I mean, because even still, he had a 318 xWOBA. Like,
Yeah,
he had a
he's just not
172
defensive.
batting average on balls in play. It wasn't like he was striking out a ton, only 22%. It was just
He wasn't good defensively though. I think that's the issue.
he's a train wreck with the glove.
Yeah.
400 innings in the outfield. He had -7 outs
Well,
above average.
Well, the fact that they played him in right field is like shows how desperate they were.
Yeah.
Like he
And
really should play first base. In all honesty,
so I think the perfect world
hey, at
for
least
the
he's not as
Royals.
bad as Brendan McKay turned out.
Yes. But yeah, that's very true. The perfect world for the Royals here is you're able to find somebody to take Vinny P. You move Cags to first, and then you bring in Duran to play the outfield, and you're running an outfield of Duran, Isbell, and Isaac Collins, and put them wherever the chips
Probably would have to
fall.
put Collins in right at that point.
Probably Collins and right. Although
Unless it was Willier going to Kansas City instead, but I don't think Willier's a fit there because of the ballpark.
no. Although lefties, I mean, Vinny P had 32 home runs for them.
Still don't think it's a good fit ballpark.
And Vinny P is a pull air guy. Like Vinny P had a 25% pull air rate. I think that's right around where Willier was.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. I think Willier's got a lot of.
Mike Moustakas' career high there was like he had 38 in 2017, but
Moustakas was a better player than I think he gets credit for. Willier was 25.7 pull air.
I think what killed Moustakas is the fact that like he doesn't look like he'd be a great player. In all honesty, it sounds kind of crappy to say, but like he also like especially late in his career, he was not good defensively at all. Late in his career, he really wasn't good defensively.
I mean, second base.
Well, that too. He still wasn't that good at third base though either.
Remember when the Brewers put Travis Shaw at second and he was a Gold Glove finalist?
Yeah, because that's how much Gold Glove actually means something.
That was when they finally started looking at DRS and outs above average and stuff like that. But
yeah, I think too the other thing that I don't know, it's just this entire offseason, it's so like it feels like it's so diluted in terms of free agency, especially with like Schwarber and Alonso off the board. It's like position player wise, right? To me, it feels so diluted because yes, you have Kyle Tucker, but like what's going on with Kyle Tucker? Who knows?
Yeah, his market's been quiet.
Yes, like extremely quiet. And like, I mean, I would love Kyle Tucker. I don't think the Red Sox would do it because I think you'd have to trade both Willier and Duran, which not against it. I will throw that out there.
Or Willier and Cedon.
No.
I'm just saying. Or
no.
I mean, Cotillo floated that idea out there that they should be more open to hearing about it. And I mean, like again, I don't think this isn't just a matter of
I think
like who's the odd man out, guys with age and whatnot. Like everything adds up to it. Like what can you get in a trade package with Willier and Cedon? Like if you went to Cincinnati and you're like, we're Cedon and Willier available, but if you have to give us Hunter Green. And the Reds say that they'll send you Hunter Green and you're trading Cedon and Willier and Durant. You're keeping Durant. Like, I'm sorry.
But like at that point,
I'm just saying if they're trading both and they're in the same trade, I think you'd get more out of both of them than you would Durant and Willier.
I think the issue in terms of trading any outfielder is just finding the right fit, especially Durant. I think especially Durant is issue finding the right fit because he's not a prospect. He had the really good year in 24, but just like how good is he going to be? Like speed first guys typically fall off earlier. Like it's just a lot of questions. And my thing is with Durant is like did you miss the chance to trade him last offseason? I hate to say it, but like, did you miss the chance to trade him last offseason?
I think it's a valid question, but I also think if the trade that we think was out there for Duran was actually out there for him, it would have happened.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
we think that Duran's value peaked in 2024. Like there's no way, even if he replicates it this year, like he'll be a 30-year-old in 2026. Like that, he's not going to go for anything crazy. And he'll have less control, so he'll cost more financially that individual season as well. I don't know. I don't think you missed the chance to trade him. I think the same issues presented themselves last year for Duran too. Like he was 28. You're only really trading him to dramatically improve the roster.
And the Padres traded away their whole farm system, so they can't make any stupid trades anymore.
Right. And like what good team is trading a starter for Durant? Because again, you can never have too many starting pitchers.
That is true.
Like the Dodgers are living proof of that.
I
They
mean,
have
hey,
15.
I mean, I'd tell the Reds, I'd be like, yo, we'll throw in Cutter Crawford too. Probably is going to suck in Cincinnati though, but you know what? We'll throw him in.
Oh man, imagine Cutter at Great American Small Park. He might set the record for home runs allowed. And I love Cutter, but that's that.
Imagine if Jordan Lyles went there.
It'd be like sending him to hell. Yeah, Jordan Lyles. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry you have to share a name with that man.
I have to share initials with that man.
I'll get even worse, yeah, too.
Brutal.
That is rough. Yeah, that is brutal. Like, didn't he give up like 38 with the Rangers?
Oh, he gave up a lot. Let me see.
Stupid.
He had such a long career too, for like no reason, because he was
he
like
he went to Baltimore and then they moved the wall back and they like saved him.
He had a 14-year career.
Yeah.
Hey, 2024 with the Royals, he had 5 scoreless innings. Yeah, I mean, he had an 11-start stretch with the Milwaukee Brewers in 19, where he had a 2.45 ERA. He had an 11-start stretch for the Brewers in 18 with a 3.31 ERA. So they traded for him 2 straight seasons, and he was great for them both times. But he never had a year with an ERA under 4, unless you count the 5 scoreless outings in 2024.
No, absolutely not.
He's only 35. He could always come back.
Yeah, no.
He did sign a minor league deal with the Dodgers last July.
He might be the type of guy to pitch and like go to like the KBO and pitch well because they don't hit the ball in the air a ton.
Oh no, it was July of 24, not this trip.
Oh well.
He did have a 6.46 ERA for them in 5 appearances. But yeah, 14-year career for Jordan Lyles.
God.
That is where we're at in this stream. We're talking about Jordan Lyles. Remember when Costas homered off him twice? That was fun.
To be fair, though, of all the people to homer off twice, that's not that crazy of an accomplishment.
He homered off Scherzer twice that year, too.
That's more of an accomplishment.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Jordan Lyles is probably not even in the Hall of Pretty Good. He had 7.8 WAR at a 5.22 ERA for his career.
Yeah,
but he pitched
He's
for
the Hall
14
of Mid.
years.
He's the Hall of Mid.
It is crazy. He pitched for 14 years.
Yeah, he's consistently mid.
But like, why was he getting opportunities?
That's consistently mid.
I mean, granted, he broke out with the Astros before they were good. Then he went to the Rockies, who are never good.
Yes.
Then he went to the Padres before they were good.
Yeah.
But then he went to Milwaukee. And was actually part of that team that went to the NLCS.
Yes.
I think he got hurt that year, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't really matter. We're getting out of the Jordan Lyles rabbit hole. We're done with this. I'm closing his Fangraphs page.
For any hockey fans, for the lulz, Tristan Jarry just got hurt. So, eat crap, Edmonton.
Jesus, we're laughing at injuries.
I'm laughing at Edmonton.
I'm not gonna be able to go to the winter meetings because you laughed at Tristan Jarry getting hurt.
Oh no, I'm laughing at the Edmonton being.
Yeah, for trading Skinner for him.
Yes, and taking all of Jarry's contract as well. Like
Tristan Jarry's never like the idea of Tristan Jarry is better than him in general.
Yeah, well, Jarry's also been sent down 3 times in the last 2 years.
Who's the goalie for the Penguins that had won 2 Stanley Cups for them, but was still considered a rookie because he never played in the regular season?
What, Matt Murray?
Matt Murray, that's right.
Yeah, he went into he sucks. They did all that trying to replace Marc-Andre Fleury, and they ended up with Matt Murray and Tristan Jarry.
I mean, they won 2 cups.
They did, but then as soon as Fleury left, well, Fleury was on both of those teams. Fleury was on all 3 of their cup teams in this century.
Can we talk about how the Penguins traded Tristan Jarry and then FSG sold the team?
Yes.
Was that part of how they were able to? No, it's funny, because that's a whole thing. You want to get rid of bad contracts when you're selling a team, and they did, and then immediately sold the team. I didn't even think about that until just now.
Yeah.
They traded Tristan Jarry, and then
contract still isn't like amazing. It's not as bad though, not nearly as bad, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
They also have that Eric Carlson contract. They have the Chris Letang that Chris Letang contract. It's under contract till he's like 40.
Yeah, but he's a team legend. Like I get
He
it.
is, but like you didn't need to give him a 6-year extension. Like he's under contract till he's like 42, I think. Like
yeah, I mean it's kind of like having Xander Bogaerts under contract till he's 41. You're just kind of praying he retires at 38.
You mean Anthony Rendon under contract for any period of time in his 30s?
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that report that
Yes.
they might trade for Arenado? Like if they can buy out Rendon?
Like, go for that is the most. No, I know that's the most Angels thing ever.
Like talk about going in for round 2. You're like, oh my god, we finally are free from the shackles of Anthony Rendon. Let's go get Nolan Arenado.
You know, it's even worse. After Arenado, they're gonna go get Ryan McMahon.
And then after Ryan McMahon, they're going to sign 36-year-old Munetaka Murakami, who has -6 F4 the last 4 years, because he's in his end of Joey Gallo's MLB career.
But you know what? He's still going to hit 30 homers.
He will. He'll be like Rougned Odor that one year where he had like 36 home runs and like a 50 WRC plus.
God.
That was fun. That's one of my favorite seasons in MLB history for anybody. Let me go back and pull this up because I really want to do it justice. In 2017, Rougned Odor had 30 home runs, drove in 75, had -0.6 F4 and a 56 WRC plus. That is maybe the greatest season of all time.
That might be, in all honesty.
That's impressive. That's like a Ryan Domit level season.
No,
actually, no. Ryan Domit. Let's never mind. Ryan Domit has the greatest season of all time.
He probably is.
2008 Ryan Domit.
He
slashed 318, 357, 501 with a 123 WRC plus. Hit 15 home runs, drove in 69. Guess his F4.
-0.9.
If only it was that good. -3.1.
Well, wasn't he also was terrible defensively?
Yeah, his defensive value was -57.6.
Remember 2016 Mark Trumbo, 47 homers.
Yeah.
And a 125 weighted runs. But even then, for that time period,
2008 to 2014. I need to see just how great Ryan Domit was. His peak. He was a good hitter, except for 1 year he was pretty bad. So from 2000,
I'm trying to see who has a terrible F4 with a bunch of home runs.
Rougned Odor.
Well, outside of that. Chris Davis with 38 homers in 2016 with a 1.6 F4.
Where is Ryan Domit? Show me Ryan Domit.
Show me Ryan Domit.
I'm trying to find where he ranks in WRC plus during his peak.
I got a good one. 2011 Mark Reynolds.
Where
37 homers, 221, 323, 483 slash time for 116 weighted runs per year plus and a 0.1 F4.
Love that. Ryan Domit from 2008 to 2014 had a 103 WRC plus, which is very mediocre. It was tied for 189th in that span, which is very 100% middle of the pack. There's 439 qualifiers. He ranked 439th in F4 with a -10.8. Average bat, -10.8 F4.
I love how Brandon Mills 2019 is in here.
I love
37 homers, 1.1 F4. It's funny how the Angels fans think Joe Adell finally broke out. He still only had 1.2 F4, even with 37 homers.
Yeah, because
he finally broke out. Yeah, he was a 1-win player now.
He's another dude that I think is.
I've got to know. Matt Kemp, 2016 Matt Kemp with 35 homers and a -0.6 F4.
Man, because he had to still play the outfield because he was still in the National League.
I think he was still playing. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Was he with the Padres that year? Was that his one good year with San Diego? Oh, and then he went back to the Reds, or Reds and Dodgers or something.
Something like that. Yeah. What other bad ones are there?
This is what happens when Craig Breslow deprives us of
Yes.
off-season moves, by the way.
Come on,
Like,
Craig.
it's been so long. I was kind of hoping that maybe we get like a live reaction to something, but then
I know.
I remembered Craig Breslow is my CBO.
2012 Ike Davis, 32 homers, 1 F4.
Jeez. I can't imagine having like that kind of pop and being so like not valuable.
Here's 2025 Vinny Pasquantino, 1.5 F4 and 32 homers.
Yeah, he's like exceptionally mediocre of a baseball player from a value standpoint.
Yeah.
Tremendous follow on Twitter. Again, like I can't stress enough. Fantastic follow on Twitter.
Oh,
Not
I have the
I
found the one.
Hit me.
2016 Yasmani Tomas. 31 homers, 109 weighted runs created plus, negative 0.5 F4.
Remember when he was supposed to be
He was supposed to be really good. 2019 Renato Nunez, 31 homers, 99 weighted runs created plus, 0.1 F4.
Man, those Orioles teams.
Geno's 2021, 31 homers, 198 average, 85 WRC plus, 0 F4. 0 on the dot.
What was Schwarber's 2021? Because
good. That was
not 21. Sorry, not 21.
20.
The year he hit 47 home runs and a 118 WRC plus, just 0.9 in 2023.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Crazy how like bad that contract looked for 2 years, and then now it's like insane.
How if there's that Rougned Odor, you're 56 weighted runs created plus with 30.
Truly one of the greatest seasons of all time.
Yeah,
30 home runs,
that
56
truly is.
WRC plus.
Yeah. Rougned Odor, 2019, 30 homers, 77 weighted runs created plus.
He was a hilarious baseball player, and then he beat the shit out of Jose Bautista, which was like fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was in that 2017 season. I wonder if that contributed to his WRC plus.
Hey, he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Knocked him out cold at the park. Trying to think of like other ways. Now, if the Red Sox
F4. Oh, I found the worst F4 year since 2000. Since 2010.
It's got to be Chris Davis here.
Yep, 2018 Chris Davis. Then the top 5 are 2018 Chris Davis, 2011 Raul Ibanez, 2017 Mark Trumbo, and 2017 Albert Pujols. And then 2010 Carlos Lee. Chris Davis was the only one of those 5 to not hit 20 home runs in the year where and Chris Davis had a negative 2.5 F4 in 2018, might I just add.
Poor guy.
I mean,
poor dude.
Yeah, 46 weighted runs created plus.
Poor guy. That was a brutal.
Hey, at least you weren't 2014 Alan Craig, who had a negative 1.6 F4, and the Red Sox traded for him.
Traded John Lackey for him, but they also got Joe Kelly out of it, so it wasn't all bad.
Well, no, I know, but like still, you traded for a guy who had the 7th worst season by F4 in the last 15 years. Like, that's
do you think, like, so I've seen a lot of discourse on this. I know Jake, because he's the voice of reason. Like whenever everyone gets angry, Jake comes out with drops a sense bomb on us all, which thank God for Jake, because if not, my head probably would have fallen off at some point this winter already.
Yeah.
But are you of the mindset that the Red Sox need to bring back Alex Bregman because they traded Devers, or are you in line with what Jake said?
I don't think they need to trade. They need to bring back Bregman just because they traded Devers. I think optically it might not be the greatest situation, but like, I mean, if Bregman walks, but you bring in like Bo Bichette, like there shouldn't be any complaints. Bo Bichette is younger, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen. Oh, Bregman walks, so they're going to get Bo Bichette. I'm not saying that, but I'm just using it as an example. And the whole narrative that wasn't even a narrative that was actually real. It was just a narrative people made up. They traded Devers because of the contract, so now they're going to go use his money and spend that money on someone else. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works, right?
Yeah.
And let's be completely honest with ourselves. The Red Sox are not going to be some crazy spending team. And I think part of the reason why, in all honesty, if your first round pick is dropping back 10 spots in the draft for going over that second luxury tax threshold, I think the Red Sox want to be a legitimate front runner to win the World Series before they go over that threshold.
Yeah. And like
that is a significant, it's not just your draft pick going back 10 slots. Now you're losing bonus pool money as well in the draft, which is crucial, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you look at the teams that have done that outside of the Mets, they've all been World Series frontrunners for the most part. Yeah. Or if they weren't World Series frontrunners, they at least were considered that before the season started.
Yeah. Like you look at the top 5 teams in payroll last year, it was the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and I think the Padres were the top 5.
Yeah, the Padres don't really count. They're also them and the Mets don't really count.
The Padres only don't count because they're in the division. They're in the same division as the Dodgers. Yeah. But if the Padres were in the NL Central, like we'd be talking about how much of a powerhouse they are. It's just the problem is they face the Dodgers 13 times a year. But for me, like I still think they do need to bring Bregman back, not because they traded Devers, but they got to find a way to make that whole situation kind of worth it. Because I really think I think part of it, we talked about this when the trade happened, for weeks after the trade happened. I think when Craig Breslow took the job, we saw this as they have all this young talent coming up, Campbell, Anthony Meyer, Teal at the time, and they have their best player locked up in Devers. And I think Breslow saw the situation as, look at all this young talent I have coming up, but unfortunately I have Rafi Devers on a long-term contract. I think it was intentional self-sabotaging. I think he wanted to get pushed Devers to the point where he became a malcontent. And I think he wanted to make Devers uncomfortable with his role with the team. And I think he wanted to make him open to getting traded, even though there was no trade clause in Devers' contract. But there was a lot of shit that went into the Devers situation.
Yeah.
That kind of made it a little bit more palatable for a lot of fans that he got moved. Yeah. I still think the act of trading him was stupid. I also think people underestimate or overestimate how much money they're actually saving by trading him. Like, they're not saving $300 million. They're saving $27 million a year.
Yes, and that's stretched out over, 9 years now?
I think 8 at this point.
8, something like that.
But the thing is, so since they traded Devers, they inherited the Jordan Hicks contract. So that's 10 and a quarter mil. And then they extended Roman. So his luxury tax hit is 16 and a quarter mil. So there's your Devers money.
Yeah.
27 mil, or I think 28 is Devers AAV. Roman and Jordan Hicks combined are 26.5. So, okay, let's bring back Justin Wilson. There you go. There's your Devers money. They've already spent it. I get that. I get what it's supposed to look like. Like, okay, you have a $300 million guy. You traded him. You need to replace him with a $300 million guy.
That's not how it works, though.
But they're going to end up probably spending more money than they did last year anyway. Yes. So, like, they obviously spent the Devers money.
I think the issue, too, is everyone also looks at the luxury tax number. The one thing I will say, like, everyone looks at the luxury tax number, but, like, when you sign a guy like Roman Anthony, yes, they're not paying him that 16 number this year because it builds up over the years. But you're also looking at it in a way of you only have so much to spend in terms of, you might have, if you're reaching the luxury tax threshold and you're looking at it and you're going, okay, you have 240, whatever the number is, right, to spend. Yeah, they might only be spending in cash for that specific year $200 million, because Roman, yes, his AAV is a lot higher than the amount he's actually getting paid.
Bayo, but Rafaela.
Rafaela, etc. Bayo, yes. But when they sign these contracts, it's not like the teams only give, like, all that money's got to go in a bank, right? And it doesn't get touched. That money just goes immediately in the bank, doesn't get touched, and it's got to stay there, right? So if they give out to 5 guys 10-year deals, even if they're worth 150 million each, that's 5 times 150. That's 100 what? 107? No, 750? No, 600. It's a lot of money. I think it's 750 million. I think that you just chuck in.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of 750 million that then has to get chucked into a bank, right? And that's why, yes, you trading Devers, like it frees up money, but you give Roman that extension that's 100 and something, and you can't look at Campbell's extension, look at Crochet's extension. That's all money that's immediately going into a bank and not getting touched. The Red Sox don't have access to that money, right?
Yeah,
that money's got to go in a bank, right?
Yeah.
So in some ways, like, yes, you're saving money, but like, it's not like you're just only taking it out of the owner. The Red Sox, that money's not coming out of their pocket right when they, just year by year. Like, no, it comes out all at once. It's one big chunk that comes out at once.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I find super lazy is why do they care so much about what a contract looks like in 2030? Like, that's literally their job, to care about that. And like, to that exact point, in 2030, or not, maybe 2030 is a bad year to give as an example with the Roman extension. Maybe 2032 is the more appropriate one, because that's where you really see the gap. Like, he's getting paid in cash $25.6 million in 2032. It still only counts for 16.25 against
exactly. That's where the advantage comes.
That's when, like, that's the whole point of signing these pre-arbitration deals, is so that way when they're getting paid the most money, it counts for less against the tax. So when you have a free agent situation, like, just to use the same guys, the same free agent market, you're in 2032, you need a power hitting first baseman and Pete Alonso's available. Then you can spend $31 million a year on Pete Alonso, because Roman Anthony only counts for 16.25 against the tax. Like, it's just budgeting. And I understand. Yes. I'm not bootlicking here. I want the Red Sox to spend money. I want them to sign the best player available at every single position that they need an upgrade at. People were shitting on the idea of them signing JT Realmuto. Well, he's the best catcher on the market, and Connor Wong sucks. Like using the MLB The Show logic, you upgrade with the best possible player at every position you need an upgrade at. That's not how it works. So where I'm looking at this offseason, there was one player on the free agent market that I'm like, you go and throw an absolute bag at and put your payroll in the $300 million range for. That's Kyle Tucker. He's not the Red Sox. He doesn't fit the Red Sox. They have an abundance of outfielders. Now, I'm willing to trade 2 outfielders to make space for him, but I'm a shit poster on Twitter, man. Like, I'm not privy to the same kind of information that Craig Breslow is. I'm not privy to the same kind of inflammation. I'm privy to a lot of inflammation.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing too with Kyle Tucker is he's not the healthiest person in the world either. Like,
no, he's privy to a lot of inflammation.
Yeah, and I think that you look like Kyle Tucker. Like, the thing is too, if you bring in Kyle Tucker, right now, you're probably trading Duran and Willier on the low side of their value, right? Because teams kind of know you got to get rid of them, right? And now your return for them might be diminished. Yes, you're getting Kyle Tucker. That's why you do it, right? If that's the route the Red Sox were to go. Obviously, this is all hypothetical, but it's that balance of, you have to have the balance of spending money, knowing when to make the right trades. And that's why, like, I do like to armchair GM in terms of like, oh, it'd be cool if they did this or whatever. But like, I hate being like, they absolutely need to do this. I'm the type of person where I want to see all the options, whereas like, I'll look at Murakami and be like, you know what? Might not be terrible. Let's look at it. Maybe it could play out. Who knows? If everything goes right, you might have a guy who can hit you 50 homers. You also might have a guy who just doesn't hit in MLB at all, right?
That's the same thing can be said about every single free agent too. Like, they could sign Kyle Tucker and he could forget how to hit a baseball tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
he could slip in the shower. Like,
yeah,
it's happened before in other sports.
Yeah. I mean, we had Clay Buchholz on this team.
John Wall.
Yeah.
Ended his career by slipping in the shower.
Didn't Salvador Perez like trip over his luggage and tear his ACL in like 2014 or something?
So
Like
I
he
think
missed
so.
like a shit ton of time because he like tripped over his suitcase.
Trevor
Like,
Bauer might have cost the then Indians a World Series by playing with the drone.
yeah, like shit happens. And like I get like you don't prepare for
I
stuff
mean,
like
that's
that
what
to
you get for
happen.
having Trevor Bauer on your team, but like,
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Um because that was clearly the worst thing he ever did was play with a drone. But it like for me, like it, and I'm guilty of this, so I don't want to play like get up on my high horse and do a soapbox rant, but like the off season's not over
so it's
until
over.
it's over. Like
And even
all
then, is
the
it
every
really
free agent.
over until opening day? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And like even still, like your team's not complete on opening day. Like it's complete for the time being, but then injuries happen, waiver wire claims, like guys get cut at the end of camp that end up getting brought in.
yeah,
There's always a 40-man crunch or not a 40-man crunch, a 26-man crunch at the end of camp. In addition to the trade deadline, like
yeah,
you're not trading, you're not forming a roster on opening day saying, okay, yeah, I just want to be a pitcher short for the deadline. Like, no,
yeah, no,
that's not how you're
no,
prepping. But like your roster, like if the Red Sox, like I brought this up back at the beginning of the offseason when the Red Sox traded for Sonny Gray. If the Red Sox traded for Joe Ryan, Red Sox fans would be content and say, okay, cool, we got a two starter. If Joe Ryan had a 5 ERA in the first half, are you saying the Red Sox don't need a two starter because they have Joe Ryan? No.
yeah, no. And
Like
honestly,
they
Sonny
have.
Gray might be better than Joe Ryan, like for next year. Like,
I am very much of that mindset.
and
So
I
you
kind of am too.
like for one season
For
they're
one season,
interchangeable. I get Joe Ryan
fades off.
is
He also fades off late in the year.
and also like he's
He
going to
is
be better
younger,
for
yes,
longer. Like you theoretically could have Joe Ryan for a lot longer than Sonny
yes,
Gray, but like who knows? Do you even want Joe Ryan longer than you have Sonny Gray for? Like could Sonny Gray be a Charlie Morton type where he's actually really good till he's 40? Like
yeah.
Charlie
Well,
Morton was a
also,
demon because he could spin it,
yeah.
and Sonny Gray can
Well,
spin it.
well, also too, like if you're the Red Sox, they might be looking at themselves and they might go Crochet, Bayo, Early, Tolley, and then someone Witherspoon, Phillips, Ianson, um, Drohan,
I mean, they've got it. They are in
Handlin,
an
anyone, any of
enviable
the
position.
above. Yeah, any of
Like
the above. Juan Valera comes, or hey, they just traded for Jake Bennett. Like, hello, like
yeah,
you
number
know,
6
like
in Sox prospects.
yeah, like the Red Sox very well might be like, yeah, we don't want someone longer than Sonny Gray. You know why? Because we have Early and we have this guy, that Kyle Harrison's still here. They just brought in Johan Oviedo, right? Like,
Yeah, what they did. Yeah, what they
they
did with
legit,
these two trades was they bought themselves some time to like let these
yes,
guys like again, Peyton Tolley, as awesome as he was in the minor leagues last year, he got a little bit. I don't want to say exposed at the major league level, but like he was very clearly a guy that was missing secondaries. Like his fastball
yes,
is elite, his
which is
secondaries left
totally
some to be
okay as
desired,
well. Like,
which is fine. But now he doesn't have to figure that out in Major League Baseball.
yes,
Like
yes,
you have the on the 40-man roster, I think you have like 10 guys who have at least 10 big league starts. Because you have Crochet, Gray, Oviedo, you have Bayo, you have Dobbins, you have um Whitlock,
Crawford, Sandoval,
Crawford, Sandoval. I think I said Whitlock already. Jordan Hicks made
yes.
10 plus starts at the big league
He,
level. He
I love
has.
Jordan Hicks. I love Jordan Hicks. Yes, he has.
Don't say that too loud.
No, it's fine. I am a Jordan Hicks truther.
I would
I
love
wanted
for
it.
Jordan Hicks to be good.
Oh my god. I would love for Jordan Hicks to find a way to turn the clock back to 2019 and start throwing 105 again.
Oh, I was
It's not
blanking
good.
on the yeah. I was blanking on the last guy that made 10 plus starts. It's Tanner Houck, but he
Yeah, he's
doesn't
injured.
count. But he counts for now because he is on the
Yes.
40 man until he can't be anymore.
Yes.
Which is why I thought they'd non-tender him and bring him back on a minor league deal. I really thought that was the right way to go about it. But then I guess if you non-tender him, there's no
Someone
guarantee that he
snaps
comes
him up.
back. Yeah, there's no guarantee
Someone
somebody else.
yeah. Somebody definitely snaps him up on like a 2-year deal.
The Dodgers.
Oh god. So while we were doing the thing about hitters, I started looking at pitchers, see who has like the fakest, like decent pitching season by ERA. In 2011 and 2012, Jeremy Hellickson. In 2011, he had a 2.95 ERA, but a 4.44 FIP and a 4.77 SIERA in 189 innings. And he had a 2 F4. The next year, he then puts up a 3.10 ERA with a 4.60 FIP and a 4.51 SIERA and has a 0.8 F4. And he had 189 and 177 innings in those 2 seasons. And then I was like, can it get even worse? Remember when everyone thought Dakota Hudson was pretty good?
Yeah, that one year with the Cardinals where he actually had like a really good season from a ERA standpoint.
Well, 2019, and this was the juiced ball year. 2019, 174 and 2/3 innings. He went 16-7. He also had a save in his 1 relief appearance.
Welcome back, Nick Pivetta.
3.35 ERA, 4.93 FIP, 5.08 SIERA, 0.9 F4. It's his second highest career F4 behind 2022. But a 3.35 ERA screams number 3 starter. A 4.93 FIP screams 5th starter at best.
The crazy thing is he had a 2.77 ERA in 2020, and then he was hurt in 2021. But he had a 2.08 ERA in those. Yeah, but in 2021 he looked pretty good, damn good too. Then he got hurt.
8 and 2/3 innings.
I mean, hey, Shane Bieber looked like Cy Bieber in 2024 for 2 starts and then exploded.
Yeah, he also looked pretty good when he came back.
He did. He looked pretty damn good. I do think though that the Red Sox are in a very enviable position from a pitching standpoint. Now, again, they need offense, and Breslow, every time he speaks to the media, will tell you that they need offense. It's almost like he has the power to add offense to the team. But like again, I think a lot of the panic sets in because so in Pete's case, there was reporting around the winter meetings that it seemed very unlikely that he was going to sign at the winter meetings, but then he did.
We know why.
We were still reeling from the news that Schwarber had signed too. So there wasn't a whole lot of power. It was an
options. Anthony Rendon situation.
Yeah, it's like there's.
Hey, we missed out on Garrett Cole. Let's give Rendon the money. The Orioles did the same thing except with Schwarber and Alonso.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's a bad move for them. Like I really do.
No.
I think there's certain.
I mean, it's not a good contract, but I don't think it's a bad move for them necessarily.
No, it's a good contract. It's not a bad.
Pete's lucky they moved the wall back in, even though they didn't move it back in all the way, because them moving the wall out killed Ryan Mountcastle's career.
But I will say about Pete is he goes the other way a lot, which is why I think people were kind of overstating the fit at Fenway. Like obviously he'd fit at Fenway. Like he hits for power. Anytime he pulls the ball, it's a home run potential. But he does go the other way a lot. So I think for where the Red Sox maybe got uncomfortable giving him that kind of money. He actually fits Camden like a glove. Like he's gonna have a few good years at the very least for them. But I do think there's a non-zero chance that he's like outside their top 5 in WAR. Even this year, and maybe even top 7.
He probably isn't, honestly.
Like
if you include pitchers,
that's what I'm doing. So we got Gunnar for sure. Gunner's a lock. I think Trevor Rogers is close to a lock. I think I have the list of players. I think Bradish, if he's healthy,
healthy,
he'll have more WAR.
Kramer.
I think Jordan Westberg will have more WAR.
Yep.
If he's healthy. Again, we're assuming health in all these cases. I'm not going to say assuming health on everybody.
Yeah.
Then we got some maybes. I think Jackson Holliday's a maybe. He's only 21 years old. Like that breakout could happen at any point.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't looked like a number 1 pick, but he's been kind of learning how to be a pro at the same time as learning to be a major leaguer.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Beavers is a maybe.
Yep.
So there's 6.
Taylor
Ward's a maybe. I would put him more towards the long shot. I think Pete will probably be better than him, just because I think there's a likelier chance that
Taylor Ward brings a little bit more value defensively, though. I think that in terms
he does, but I don't know how real Taylor Ward's power was last year or was a career year from him in that standpoint. I think Pete's a likelier candidate to replicate his most recent season. I think Basayo's a maybe. Oh, also Adley.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, depends on if Adley kind of figured his swing out, because he really kind of became a mess the last couple of years and dealt with some injuries, like broke his hand in 2024 and basically played through it. But like we just rattled off 7 guys. Basayo, depending on where his volume comes from, is he a DH? Is he playing first? How much is he catching?
Yeah.
And then obviously still got to learn the big leagues, but like there's
I'm looking at
guys
like
there.
in terms of maybes, Holiday, Westberg, just in terms of just maybes or better. Holiday, Westberg, Gunner, Adley, Beavers. I think Colt Kowser's a maybe as well.
That depends on where his offense is, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but because of the defense.
Yeah.
I'll throw Taylor Ward in a maybe, even if it's a smaller maybe. Yeah, even if you throw Messiah into the maybes, that's all of their other 8 potential starting position players. And then you still have Rogers, Bradish, and Kramer as maybes.
I don't think Kramer.
He had a 2.6 F4 last year.
Fake.
If Pete considering Pete's a first baseman,
any starter they add goes to the maybes as well. Because I think I don't think the Orioles are small fish hunting there.
No, but like if Pete puts up like a 2.5 F4, like Kramer put up a 2.6 last year, right? So like that's why I put him in maybe.
I guess I just don't like Dean Kramer.
I don't either. I'm not crazy over Kramer, but
like we're talking about a dude who at probably the end of his career is going to have like 30 something more, and we're gonna be like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yes, literally.
Like he's one of those guys. He's a hall. Like I think here's a business idea. How about the Hall of Accumulators?
Yeah.
Which maybe that is the Hall of Pretty Good, but I feel like that's kind of losing some of its like, I don't want to say integrity, because that's pretty mean. But like I feel like it's kind of just about vibes. Like I want a Hall of Accumulators. Maybe that's an account I should make. And make the case for like this dude, like Omar Vizquel, a shitty person. They're just throwing that out.
No, he doesn't get in. He's not allowed in. Nope.
He doesn't get in, but like people gave him Hall of Fame votes. Like that dude played for like 400 years. Of course, he had almost
Jamie Moyer
hits. Jamie Moyer, yeah. Bartolo Colon also in the Hall of Accumulators. Like that dude just would refuse to retire and just. I'd probably put like there's a gray area between like the guys that are like definitely accumulators. Like David Wells, also very good accumulator. If you look at his career and Bartolo Colon's career side by side, they're the fucking same, and they're both fat, which is even better.
This guy is a Hall of Famer, but Satchel Paige gets in just for the fact that he started playing professionally in 1927 and made his last appearance in 1965.
Yeah, he gets in. He has so much aura that he's in the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Accumulators.
Yeah, or like Minnie Minoso.
Yeah,
he got it's funny. The White Sox shout out Bill Veeck for this. He stopped playing full time in 1964 at 40. He then got 3 games in 1976 and 2 games in 1980, so he could officially play in 5 different decades in the big leagues.
That is fantastic.
So Minnie Minoso, he's also a Hall of Famer. He's also getting it. He's also getting it now.
I'm also gonna stick Julio Franco in the Hall of Accumulators. That dude played. That dude also played in 3 different decades. He played till he was 48 years old. I would put him in the Hall of Fame in general too. Like I don't give a shit. But like it's not.
They need a wing of the Hall, like how the UFC has like they have like a pioneer wing, a martyred wing, and then they have a fight wing, where like so like in the UFC, even if you have like one of the best fights of all time, even if you're both just like average, you can get into the Hall of Fame for that like one really, really good fight.
Yes.
Like imagine if the MLB had something like that where it's like you get into the Hall of Fame off like one really good season, even if you were just ass the rest of your career. like in the NBA, it'd be Derrick Rose, right? Wins the MVP.
Derrick Rose will probably get in the Hall of Fame anyway.
Oh, he probably will because if he doesn't get in, he'd be the only MVP to never get in. But like I'm using it as an example of like MVP year and then just injuries derailed his career, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or who's like someone who's had like was like a 1-year wonder in the MLB like recently.
Chris Coughlin won Rookie of the Year.
I feel like you need better than that though. I feel like you need like a top of the line, like close to MVP.
Matt Kemp.
Yeah, Matt Kemp. Yeah.
Ryan Braun.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, Braun was a very good player for a while, but he peaked, then got suspended, and then was just like pretty good.
The suspension might kind of hurt him though in that case.
Yeah,
but yeah, he did have that MVP. He had that MVP year.
Franco, like I hate batting average. Like
Jacoby Ellsbury gets in there.
Yeah,
for 2011.
Rick Porcello.
Yeah, won a Cy Young. Honestly, Jay Happ
Er-
even for that year as well.
Eric
Screw it.
Gagne for 03.
Oh yeah, that's how
Julio
you get relievers in
Franco.
the Hall of Fame. That's how you get
Julio,
relievers in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, Julio Franco as a 47-year-old man in 2006 hit 273 in 179 plate appearances. So like it wasn't
Well,
like
we need
he.
guys in the Hall of Fame like Jared Weaver who are really good for short periods of time. We need like like some sort of way to get.
That's what the Hall of Pretty Good should be. It shouldn't be
Yes,
for like Trevor Plouffe.
yes.
No
And
disrespect to Trevor
seems
Plouffe.
like a
No
great
disrespect
guy,
to the
but
people
like
out there.
Jared Weaver, like that guy had 3 consecutive top 5 Cy Young finishes. Like come
Yeah.
on.
He
Also,
was
yeah.
he
He
was
also got
pretty damn
down
good.
he also got down ballot MVP votes in one of those years as well. Like Jared
Yeah.
Weaver was like what was it from 2010 through 2012? Like really, really stupidly good. Like there's a lot of starting pitchers around that time who are like so underrated who will never make the Hall of Fame. Like Dan Herron's another one.
Oh, Dan Herron's a good one. I love
Yeah.
Danny Herron. He was also
Yes.
a very fun guy.
Yeah. Brandon Webb won a Cy Young. And he had 2 second place Cy Young finishes as well.
Tim
Like Brandon
Lincecum.
Webb is Lincecum, but Brandon Webb especially though is a Hall of very good.
Yeah, can only imagine
Good.
what his career would have looked like without all
Oh my
the injuries.
God, would have been amazing.
Who
Like
else? There's one guy I'm thinking of too. I think Brett Myers, the old Phillies big guy, big starter. He pitched a decade in the league, but he was supposed to be him. Yeah, he had back-to-back 3.5 win seasons in 05 and 06. Then basically was hurt for the next 3 years and then came back and had a 3.9 F4 season in 2010 with 223 and 2/3 innings. And then retired at 32.
Hall of very good. Roy Oswalt.
I loved Roy Oswald. I wanted the Sox to get him badly.
He literally finished 5th in Cy Young voting in his rookie year.
You know,
And he only made 20 starts that year. And he didn't even win Rookie of the Year. Like also add in that. You want to take a guess why he didn't win Rookie of the Year?
What year was it?
Albert Pujols.
Oh. That's not shocking.
Pujols swept the vote that year. Obviously, duh, makes sense. Pujols hit 37 homers, and hit 329. Like, had a OPS over 1,000. Like, duh, obviously, but like.
Ooh, I got another entrant into this category of like one really elite season,
or at least a couple really elite seasons.
Yeah, a couple really really good ones. Chris Medlin.
That's a
2012. He had a 1.57 ERA and 138 innings, 50 appearances, 12 starts, had a 3.2 F4, and then the next year he had a 3.11 ERA, was 2.4 F4, 197 innings.
You know what? I'll throw a reliever into the mix because just like regular relievers don't get enough love. Addison Reed.
He was very sneaky good.
He had a bonkers 2016. 197 ERA and 77 and 2/3 innings, 197 FIP. Like, that's obscene.
He was a sneaky good Red Sox too. He deserved better than his fate after leaving Boston. He was a mess when he left. I wanted him back pretty badly. I won the Fell For It Again award 2 straight years. I did it with Ziegler. He left and was terrible. Then I did it with Addison Reed. He left and he was terrible. Then I did it with Joe Kelly. He left and was okay. Kimbrel left and was terrible.
Like Hall of Very Good should go to like guys like Lance Berkman.
No, because Lance Berkman should be in the Hall of Fame.
You know what? That I kind of agree with that, but like
he
doesn't have like the only issue is he doesn't have like the big highlight reel things. Like the only thing he ever led the league in, where he led the league twice in doubles and once in RBIs. Like, but I think that's what hurts him. And he had 2 top 3 MVP finishes, but like he won. His biggest thing is he won the World Series in 2011 with St. Louis, but like that just gets overshadowed because it was Pujols' last year.
He was so fucking good for that team.
He was. He absolutely was. He finished 7th in MVP voting. That was his last really good year.
I think the problem is they won the World Series, and then the next year he only played 32 games.
Yeah.
He got hurt, and then he went to Texas in 2013 and wasn't good for them. So like But like, I don't think just Berkman. Like, I think it's weird. So I don't value first baseman. Like, I wouldn't pay them. That's just my own philosophy, which is why I was
Unless it's
relieved the
like
Red Sox
Vladdy.
and unless it's Vladdy. Even then, 500 million. Yikes! That scares
I mean,
me.
for the Blue Jays,
But
it
it's
makes sense though.
yeah. But I love Vladdy, so I won't scoff at it too much.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't value first baseman a whole lot. But I think the threshold for getting into the Hall of Fame as a first baseman is a little too high. Like Berkman
Yeah.
should be in the Hall of Fame. Although Berkman
I
was an
think,
outfielder for a lot of his career, but
yeah,
I
he
also think
was.
John Olerud should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I
Well,
read
I
a
think
whole
like you
article on that.
look at a position like second base historically. If you played second base, good luck getting in the Hall of Fame historically.
Yeah, I'm hoping Pedroia bucks that trend, but he probably won't.
He probably won't. Chase Utley probably gets in,
Utley will probably get in like year 7, which I think is ridiculous because he should
it
already
is.
be in there.
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Like, there's not very many 5-tool second basemen. Chase Utley's one of them. Like,
we want to talk about guys who were good for a short period of time. Dan Uggla.
Dan Uggla had a peak. It was very short.
It was real short, but it was glory. Him and Hanley up the middle with Florida.
Yeah, back when they were Florida.
Yeah.
Man, John Olerud, 87 games with the 05 Red Sox, /289, 344, 451. What a guy. Man. He should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that should be in the Hall of Fame, and all on it. Moises Alou had like a couple, he had that almost MVP year with Montreal.
Yeah, I think if we look back on a lot of these, like I would love to. Like,
he actually had two top 3 MVP finishes. Actually, Moises Alou did.
It's so difficult to like decide who should be in the Hall of Fame and who shouldn't.
I'm not saying Moises Alou should be in the Hall of Fame, but like that's a prime like Hall of Very.
Yeah, no, I don't think Alou should be in the Hall of Fame, but I would love to like see if somebody could give like somebody wants to do all the legwork there and be like, these are the guys that should be in the Hall of Fame. And like, what's the cutoff?
What's the cutoff too? And who are the guys who are in the Hall of Fame that really shouldn't be in there? You know who I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Should I say his name? Or is it like Lord Voldemort? Harold Baines?
Yeah.
Get him out of the Hall of Fame.
Get out. See ya. If Harold Baines is in, just everyone we just listed should be in.
Yeah, Harold Baines. Hold on. I got to get rid of these non-pitchers here because I'm looking at batting stats and there's a lot of pitchers with negative WAR. He does not have the lowest WAR in the Hall of Fame. He's 158th out of 173.
Yeah, but how many people played after him that are lower at like?
I don't think anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we got the lowest in the Hall of Fame is Ray Schalk at 22.6. He had 11 home runs in 1,700 games. He had to have played in the 1800s.
1912 to 1929.
Come on, I think society had progressed in World War I enough for.
It says he got a 1917 World Series, but it says he was on the Chicago White Sox in 1917. Huh?
He must have gotten into the Hall of Fame for not cheating.
Wait, hold on.
What was it
that year? Am I drunk? Like,
I'm thinking of 1909.
But no, sorry.
No, 1919.
Yeah, they did win it in 1917. Okay, I was thinking of 1917. He did have a top 3 MVP finish, but yeah.
For what?
Although I think that was back when in the MVP voting, you couldn't win it after you've already won it once. That was a thing way back in the day. Like once you had won an MVP, you weren't allowed to win it again.
I'm not even kidding. Like, let's pretend that we're. He
probably got in because he didn't throw the World Series.
He sucked. Like he was actually horrible. There's nothing.
656 career OPS. Oh Lord.
He hit 253 for his career. He only had 13. He only had 200. He only had 1,345 hits.
Although maybe he was amazing defensively, right? We don't know.
I guess so. He had 99.3 defensive value.
I don't know how they get. Okay, question: how do you get that number? Nobody. There's no way there's any film. How do you get that number? How?
Just guesswork.
I know that's what I was like. How does anyone come up with that? Like, there's no way.
Where does that rank all time for catchers? Because apparently, I just learned he
Oh,
was
he's
a
also a
catcher.
catcher. Yeah, no, that makes sense. He's a catcher. It makes sense.
Let's see. All time for catchers.
He literally only caught. He never played any other position.
Let's see. Where does this man rank for catchers and defensive value? He's definitely below Yachty because Yachty's the second most valuable defender in MLB history.
He led the league in fielding percentage like 7 times.
He's
also,
not even in the top 30.
Yeah, but you know what? He caught 151 games 1 year, okay? I'd like to see Yachty try. I'm joking, obviously.
He is 47th.
Yeah, but like, are those numbers real? Because he finished
No.
3rd in MVP voting, and he had a 750 OPS, and he was a below league average hitter.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
You get what I'm saying, though. Like,
yeah, why is that guy in the Hall of Fame? Okay, yeah,
he had to have been amazing defensively. There's no other way.
I'm going to make it a project. Like now, it's on record here on December 18th in 2026. At some point, like throughout the year, I am going to do a.
He was a player, coach, manager, and scout.
I am going to.
He revolutionized the catching position by using his speed and agility to expand the previously accepted defensive capabilities for his position. See, he got voted in for his defense.
He's not a Hall of Famer. I don't care.
I'm not saying but like also they have no way to. WAR isn't measuring defense in the 1910s and 20s. Okay.
I am going to in 2026. I am going to make it a project of mine where I am going to determine who should be in the Hall of Fame. It is going to be just entirely like my own art, my own biases. I'm gonna.
This guy got in from the Veterans Committee. There you go.
We are going to eradicate the character clause because I'm not going to be God and decide which issues are worse than others. I'm not going to police that. But in 2026, that is going to be something I release at the end of the year on December 31st, 2026.
No. Schultz gets in the Hall of Fame for this. He soon developed a reputation as one of the best defensive catchers in Major League Baseball. Before Schultz, most catchers were large and slow of foot. Schultz was a small, agile man. He was only 5'9", 5 feet 9 inches tall, who caught with the energy and mobility of a fifth infielder. Due to his small size and youthful appearance, he was often the butt of jokes from opposing players. One time, a policeman refused to let him into the locker room at Comiskey Park, mistaking him for a child.
He get voted in by Drake. Like, I think that's a good ending point. We've been on this for 2 hours.
Hey, I'm gonna argue. You know what though? There's something. There's gotta be something. He probably just got voted in for his defense. Remember, this is in 1955 when he got voted in. I don't think that's nearly as egregious as Harold Baines.
Probably not, but like gross, man. Gross. Yeah, so
it's good,
December 31st, 2026, my article of who should be in the Hall of Fame at every single position will drop.
A little more than a year, Jordan.
I got a little bit more than a year. That is going to be my goal for 2026 is reconstructing the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It's gonna be a New Year's resolution, just like everyone's New Year's resolution. It sticks to like January 5th, and then after that, you're just like, nah.
I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna be like, damn, this is hard, and I'm gonna stop completely.
You're just gonna get to the pitchers, and you're just gonna be like, damn it.
Well, it'll be kind of fun to play like Baseball God for a little bit. I think it's a fun exercise.
That's why I give you like 5 days.
No, I mean, I'm sure I won't work on it every single day in 2026, but I
have to, considering how many damn players there've been.
Yeah, but how many players are in the Hall of Fame?
A lot.
Let me see. Give me a sec.
There's 279 players in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay, so let's break it down to.
So you have to cover 200. You have to go over 279 players plus all the players who aren't in the Hall of Fame who are close to being in the Hall of Fame. So
I'm also removing guys from the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to go through the entire 279 plus another however many it's going to take to figure out what the threshold is.
Well, I can tell you right now that if your WAR is under 40 and you're a position player, unless there's like extenuating circumstances, like you were a Negro Leagues player, or
you served
in the military, like there's going to be some exceptions.
Or you're racial.
Yeah. Or no. No, he's the first guy removed from the Hall of Fame.
No,
Forgive
Harold
this-
Payton is the first guy removed.
No, I have a new vendetta against Ray
No,
Shaw.
I think this. If he was mistaken for a kid and he was listed at 5'9", 165, there's no way he's taller than Jose Altuve.
Not a
Come
chance,
on.
yeah.
If he was
He was
mistaken
standing
for a kid in the 1910s, there's no way he's taller than Jose Altuve is now. And he was a
on
catcher. Come on.
stilts, yeah.
There's no chance. He's probably like a 5'2" catcher. Let's be honest here.
He was
There's
1912, 5'9".
Yes. It's like when everyone says Napoleon was short, and it's like I was average for the time. It's like you're short, buddy.
He was 5'9" in the same way that the average life expectancy in World War I was like 47. Like, actually, what was the average life expectancy back then? I don't want to be spreading misinformation here. So what? He lived till he was 77 years old. He died in 1970. There was no overlap between him and my parents. He died in 1970. My mom was born in 72. So
well, my parents were both born before he
life expectancy in the 1910s.
In the 1910s. Damn. Bro, he played before World War I started. Like,
dude. In the U.S. 1910s, life expectancy at birth was around 47 to 50. I nailed that shit. I nailed that shit. Hell yeah.
Damn.
I got a fucking. I pinged.
So how much money are the Red Sox going to give to Bo Bichette?
Well, I think. I still think it'll be Bregman. I'm not buying that he's going to Arizona. I think the Red Sox will get there I think the Red Sox will get there for 4 years. I think they'll be like, present us how much money they're offering you. We'll knock that down to 4 years, and we'll just give you that money.
My only concern with Bregman is I feel like if they truly wanted him long term, it's like why didn't you do it last offseason?
Because they didn't. I mean, to be fair, Bregman was coming off the worst year of his career in 2024.
True, but
they probably weren't 100% sure that was going to work. And I also think they wanted an out if they weren't able to move Devers.
No, that's true, but also,
I think they knew that Devers was going to be. They were going to move him to DH. They postured like they were gonna make Bregman the second baseman so they could get him in the building and not piss Devers off too early. They were like, Devers is going to be our DH, and we're going to try and trade him. And if we can't trade him, we know we're going to have to move him back to third in 2025 or 2026. So we have Bregman with an opt out. Bregman opts out. I mean, then you're hedging a little bit because if he opts in, then you're fucked. But if he opts out, then you have Devers to fall back on at third base if you're unable to trade him. I think that I do think that they end up coming to something with Bregman here. And they also saw how he was with the young guys. They didn't know, like, he's got a reputation, but you don't know until you know. Like Bregman, when he was an up and coming star playing with Alex Cora as his bench coach, is a little different than Bregman at 32 years old. He might still think he's the star. He may not be able to pass the torch over to somebody else. And like, he seems very, very clearly willing to let Roman Anthony be the face of the Red Sox.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like with Bregman, like it's still, I don't know. I'm iffy because his first 51 games before he got hurt last year, 17 doubles, 11 homers. The rest, like his next 51 games when he came back, I think he only had like 11 doubles and 5 homers.
But a lot of those came right after he came back.
Yeah, that's so that's kind of like that's what I'm like where I'm concerned, right? Because he might have been feeling fresh when he first came back. And then, like, once he started kind of getting into the everyday grind, it was like, ooh, maybe not so much.
Yeah,
right? But even then, it's still a concern because he's not, like, that could be an injury that pops up again in the future, right?
Yeah, so on July 28th, so after the game concluded on July 28th, that was game 1 in Minnesota. He was slashing 300, 374, 554 with a 152 WRC plus. He had 19 doubles and 14 home runs. That was in his first, how many plate appearances? 270. The final, give me one sec. The final 400. Oh, sorry. That's not correct. Give me one sec. It didn't update. The final 225, he slash 238, 342, 347 with a 93 WRC plus nine doubles, 4 home runs. I think he pretty clearly was banged up and playing like people thought that he coming back early, like he'd still heal as he was playing. Like, no, that's not how that works. It was actually getting worse again. And he just had no punch. Like he had a 109 isolated power during that stretch. But he still had a 342 on base. He walked 12% of the time, struck out only 10% of the time. Like he was still that was awful. And it was still a 93 WRC plus. Like that was the bad version of Bregman. And then he showed up in October. Like he had the kill shot in the playoffs in game 1, the RBI double in the 9th inning. And he overall slash 300, 462, 400. Like it's only 3 games, but a WRC plus for the series of 150. Like it's not like he didn't show up in October. He didn't show up in game 3, but who the fuck did? Like Yoshida did. That was it. And like Connolly Early did until Nathaniel Lowe decided to bend him over a table, essentially.
There's a reason Nathaniel Lowe ain't coming back.
Yeah.
There's a reason. I will say this too. Like the whole thing too is like the big thing for Red Sox too is we don't know what Casas' health is like. Like if we kind of want to go full circle back to the whole point of the stream was the Red Sox. We don't know what Casas is going to look like on opening day, or if he's even going to be ready. In all honesty, we don't know, right?
Doesn't sound like he will be, but you never know.
You never know, but like that's the thing. If Casas isn't ready, is Romy going to just be your first baseman? Because like as much as I love Romy, I feel like they're gearing him up right now to platoon with Marcelo. That's how I feel right now. And if that's the case, he's not playing first base then. So who's playing first base, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're just gonna flip the coin. They're like, we're gonna put, I don't know. You know what? Let's put Yoshida at first base today. Spin the wheel.
Everyone. I would love it. I would love it so much.
Connor Wong's playing first base. Spin the wheel.
If he plays first base, he's a Hall of Famer for me.
If Jaron Duran's willing to play first base, I'm willing to not trade him.
Kind of shocked that they never like approached Duran about playing second.
There's no.
I don't think he could do it, but like the media never asked.
I don't even think you would ask. I think that's asinine.
I think it was worth. I mean, if they were going to ask, I mean, I guess
I think you'd be better off asking him to play first base at that point. You know what?
Why couldn't they? Why didn't they? They didn't ask Duran anything. They didn't ask Duran anything hard all season. And I'm not saying that. I mean, I guess the hard questions were just asking him stuff after the Devers trade, but like, I just don't get like Duran.
Hard questions was telling him not yell in the middle of games.
Yeah, like asking, like I don't know. They asked Devers at every chance they could, the media, about DHing, about playing first base, and I get it. Like moving from third to moving from any position to DH isn't a hard transition from you're just hitting. Like you're not learning a new position. You're learning new routines, but you're just like all you're focusing on is hitting. Or moving from third base to first base. It's just you're still in the infield. Moving back from the outfield to the infield is much harder, and I don't want to underestimate that. But he was an infielder in college. Like, why was it never asked?
There's also a reason they put him in. They moved him to the outfield.
I agree. Yes. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying that he should have played second. Like, I'm not saying I wanted him to play second. But like, why was that never a question? Because just to rule it out. Like in the same way that like I think Coley tweeted this at the beginning of the offseason. Like one of the first things he's doing is making the Guardians say no on Jose Ramirez. Like just make them tell you no.
Yeah.
Just ask. Duran played second base in college. Like just let him ask him, and if he says no, then okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
No, I get that. Yeah,
I see you, Jason.
As if we haven't mentioned him like 5 times already.
You mentioned me 5 times.
We did.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's not a bad thing. We were because I was bringing up Murakami, and I mentioned how we had talked about Murakami.
Yeah, that would make Twitter, I think, explode.
Yeah, it would make
more.
it explode. Yes, if you weren't around for that, I mentioned how Jason and I joked about how mostly me joking about how you put Murakami to play third base because Devers was so bad defensively that they wanted to move him off third. So you trade him just to bring in Murakami to play third, who might be worse defensively potentially. Just to see that's the chaos option. The chaos option is you sign Murakami and Okamoto. It costs us DHs and Yoshida gets sent back to the Shadow Realm.
No. Or Yoshida plays left field full time. Yeah, and they trade both outfielders.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no. Short. You trade all the outfielders outside of Roman Anthony. Christian Campbell plays center field, and Roman plays right, and Yoshida plays up. There's your chaos option.
How does Christian even fit into the
left field?
Into the plan? But like you still have the log jam in the outfield. You've already extended the guy. Like it's like the Red Sox have so many questions to answer, but I mean we are past 2 hours on the stream. Like Jason, you came at the very end of it. Like we just went on a rant about Ray Shaw. But I guess to kind of put a bow on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like let's stay in the realm of realism here. Let's not go chaos option.
Yes.
How are you salvaging the Red Sox offseason? Jason, since you just joined, I'll let you answer that first. How are you salvaging it?
Oh, I get to help put the bow on top of this live stream. I would say you got to get Bregman back, and you have to trade. You got to figure it out. FITFO is what they usually say. You know what FITFO means?
Yeah.
Figure it the fug out.
Yeah.
Fug out. Yeah.
Not fuck.
Okay, Derek.
We are not a PG-13 show.
Okay.
Like
you have to get some sort of Reagans or some sort of number two. I know that we talked about there's no really such thing as a number two pitcher, but you need to bring in some sort of.
I love
Jason
that.
and I
love
have
that
had
I've gassed
so many conversations about not a number two starter not being a real thing.
I love that this is becoming a movement. The number two starter isn't real. Anyway, continue.
Yes.
You need to find a way to get Cole Reagans through trading one of the outfielders. Because that makes sense. The Royals are needy of an outfielder. The Red Sox have a lot of leverage. And if you lose Alex Bregman to another team, you instantly lose your leverage. Because it's like, yeah, you need to trade an outfielder for the sake of making a move, right? So I'm re-signing Bregman, and you have to be... Andrew Friedman said it best. If you're realistic on every free agent, you're going to finish third on every free agent. So you got to be a little uncomfortable. Bregman has meant so much to everybody. Even in the Connolly early interview on Section 10, like he mentioned without being prompted, like, oh, Alex Bregman showed me that I was tipping pitches, which just tells me that, like, dude, this guy is so important in the clubhouse. And he's a good baseball player on top of that too. You need to get him back. You need to trade one of the outfielders. And I'm fine with rolling with 4 outfielders, solid outfielders to begin the year, and Roman, Campbell, Rafaela, and maybe Abreu/Duran. I'm fine with that. But 5 is too many. So I'm trading Duran and I'm re-signing Bregman. That's the offseason, and I'm happy.
Derek, how are you putting a bow on this offseason?
Realistically, one of Bregman and Bichette. I don't really care which one and all. I prefer Bregman, but I'm cool with whatever at this point. In terms of like Bregman, he might be a little bit better, but he's also older. Bichette, you're going to get more long-term stability there. And Meyer can play both second and third, so it's not as big of a concern position-wise with you don't need a third baseman. You could get a second baseman and play. Like you could have Bichette at second and play Meyer at third. And then you got to get. I think you should get another starter. Although I will throw the caveat out there. We did mention a team like Seattle earlier. Not that Seattle would necessarily do this, but like I'm using this as an example. Like Seattle, they do have Andres Munoz. They're not going to give him up, but like make him answer the phone on Matt Brash. Right?
I love Matt Brash.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if you get another reliever for the back end, like sign me up, right? Like a one with like control. That's more so the point is what I'm saying, right? Like, because like everyone's like, oh, like I mentioned, like I think we were talking Jordan Bat and we brought up like Morihone at one point. Like Morihone's great, but there's not a ton of team control there, right?
Right, he's a rental.
Yeah. So, but like if you get if it's not a starter, a reliever with team control, right? So just a pitcher with control, whether it's a starter or a reliever, I'm cool with. Preferably, yes, a number 2 starter, but I don't think they exist. Like Jason said, they don't. I don't think any of us really think they exist. A number 2 starter is basically a number 1 who's just not the Red Sox number 1 because they have Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
That's
People
essentially what
people conflate a second ace or number 2 with a second ace. It's just not the same thing.
Max Fried is not a number 2, people. He's a number 1.
He's number 1.
The
And there is
Yankees
a difference
just so
between number
happen
1
to
and an ace.
Yes, there was a difference. The Yankees just so happen to have Garrett Cole. I know he's hurt last year, but the point still stands.
Yeah, I think Fried might be the better pitcher now, but yeah, that's beside the point. That's
Well,
not.
yeah,
That's not
it's
relevant.
besides the point, though. On paper, he's the number 2 because Garrett Cole is their number 1.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I would say Bregman or Bichette, and then a pitcher, whether it's number 2 starter in air quotes, or screw it, just get me a back end reliever with control. I'll take it.
So for me, I'm shocked. I'm going to be the only one here. I'm trading for Ketel Marte. Like I'm doing it. Like I'm getting Ketel. I'm getting uncomfortable. Like you still have to consolidate down some talent on this team. Like you have a ton of good players. You don't have enough great to elite players. Like even if you re-sign Bregman, I think he's kind of on the fringe. Like I think he's a very good player that can be great.
It's the same team you had last year.
And it's the same team you had last year that wasn't good enough. Now, granted, like the guys that are young, you didn't have Roman in the postseason. Your young guys are expected to improve as they play more in the major leagues. Like, and obviously you're hoping to get more out of first base in general. But for me, I'm trading for Ketel Marte. I'm not getting stupid in what I'm going to give up. But if it's 2 of the 3 of Duran, Meyer, and Early, I think I'm closing my eyes and hitting send on that.
I was thinking mine was more like bare minimum. I wouldn't be against trading for Marte more so, but I was saying like bare minimum for me.
For me though, I think you need to get an elite level hitter, and the only one available, unless you're trading 2 outfielders and signing Kyle Tucker, the only one available is Ketel Marte.
Yeah, they don't grow on trees,
and he's making nothing. Like financially speaking, he's not making anything, and I'm content with. This is gonna be funny because of what I said earlier. I'm banking on Tristan Casas not being ready for opening day, and even if he's healthy, like healthy air quotes, I still want him to get some burn against righties and lefties for like a month, just to figure everything out. Give him some time. You have the options, so why not just give him some time in AAA? So April, my first base tandem is Romy Gonzalez and Nathaniel Lowe. I'm bringing him back for 1 month, and then when it's determined that he sucks, because he does, you DFA Lowe, Romy goes back to his being a platoon bat off the bench, and Tristan Casas comes back and plays first base, and maybe you platoon Romy with Casas.
I'll just add, I really like kind of like the idea of Okamoto.
Okamoto's fun. I don't mind Okamoto either, but I'm at the point where
if you get
I have too much Tristan Casas stock at this point.
Me too, but like also too because Yoshida's probably going to end up in the shadow realm. Like if you have,
hear me out.
Like you bring in Ketel, hell, you bring in Ketel, they could still bring back Bregman.
They could. You know what?
Screw it, Okamoto too. Why the hell not?
But I also think there's some validity to what people are saying about that infield being old, and like even like Casas isn't old, but like physically he is because he's a big dude, and
but that's why you get Okamoto
brutally assaulted by his own body in recent years. But Okamoto's already 29, so like he's not a spring chicken. I mean, I know Bichette's 28. I know Bichette's 28, but like for me, you're trading for Ketel, and immediately like you're letting. I'm sorry, like I love you, Breggy, but I think if you get Ketel, my attention goes to Bo Bichette from there.
Yeah,
you get the 28-year-old, you put him at third base.
I'm honestly concerned about Trevor Story though next year. Like
Hear
I
me
don't
out on
mean,
Trev
like-
too.
No.
I'd put him at third. Like,
no, he does not have the arm for third base. He
is the
cannot make that throw. He cannot make that throw. There's no chance. I'd
Him
put him
and
in left field before third
same
base.
arm strength in 2025.
He also
I'd
had the
argue
yips at the end of the year.
I think that was fatigue. I also think Trev is a better athlete than Bregman. I think he could take to the position.
But also too, if he's getting fatigued at the end of the year, he's only going to get fatigued more at third base because now he's making longer throws more consistently.
But is he getting? I think he got fatigued because he hadn't played baseball for 4 years.
True, but also
I think similarly
to stop. And if you're moving him to third base to play Meyer at short, then he's also your only third baseman, really.
We still have Romy can play third. Nate Eaton can play third. Nick
but if
Sogard can play
Romy's
third.
if Romy's in your first base mix, like.
But then you still have Sogard. You still have Sogard. You still have
Nate Eaton, yeah, but
still have Eaton.
It's still a little.
You can sign somebody else as minor league depth as well.
But that's like saying you have David Hamilton as the backup shortstop. Like, okay, so what? Like.
I mean, I'd argue too, if your star at the position gets hurt, you're probably fucked anyway.
True. But like I think the other thing too people forget to realize is like, yeah, the Red Sox didn't have Roman Anthony. They didn't have their best hitter. Roman Anthony was the best hitter at the end of the year. How many teams can go into the postseason without their best position player and win a series?
Should have been the Red Sox.
The Dodgers probably could.
Dodgers probably, yeah, they're the Dodgers. That doesn't like outside of if the Blue Jays don't have Vladdy, how far do they really go in the postseason?
Well, they also wouldn't have had Bo, so they would have been.
No,
yeah, they didn't have Bo.
No, but okay.
Yeah, but yes, no, I get your question.
Yeah,
You're right.
Giolito, right? They also didn't have Giolito, right? Like,
yeah,
you get the point I'm making. Like the thing is too is like everyone's like about well, we're just running back with the same team. The team that very legitimately should have won that series without their best position player at the time.
Yeah.
Who's only going to get better. That's my only caveat to like the people who are like, well, you can't just bring Bregman back because it's the same team. You mean the team that didn't have Roman Anthony.
And Willier was playing through that.
Willier was injured. Who knows what Christian Campbell's going to be this year? Who knows what Marcelo Meyer's going to be, right?
Casas,
right? There's a lot of question marks, but like there's also a lot of upside with that. And I'm not using that as an excuse to stand pat. But people like, oh, well, they lost to the Yankees, so they can't just do the same thing. It's like if they bring back Bregman, plus you're getting Roman for a full year, right? You're going to hopefully have Casas for most of the year, right? Yeah. I do think they give him a little bit of load management a la NBA style, and I think they should. But
theoretically, too, like you probably win that series if Brian Bayo gives you more than 2 innings in game 2.
Yeah. Or hell, if you have Giolito probably pitches game 2. And who knows what happens.
I think he would have gotten bombed, to be honest.
I mean, maybe.
He was a paper dragon.
No, but if you have Giolito on your roster, Bayo comes out in game 2, maybe you let Giolito eat innings in game 2 to just not kill your bullpen.
Or you just have a vet starting game 3 where you feel, I mean, not that Connolly early was the reason they lost. It was the defense and the fact they couldn't hit Cam Schlittler, but Giolito, just as a veteran, he's been in the postseason before. Yeah. Maybe he's a little bit more, he's able to give you a little bit more. He's able to keep you in the game a little bit more than Early did. Because Connolly, I don't want to say he let go of the rope because again, the defense let him down, but it snowballed very quickly. It was very,
and their bullpen was spent from game 2.
Exactly. And
their bullpen was spent.
Exactly. In theory, they should have probably just started early in game 2 and then Bayo in game 3. I'm very much like Monday morning quarterbacking that, but in hindsight, giving the rookie
Well, in hindsight, pulling your number 2 starter after 2 innings is probably
I was just about to mention
idea.
that.
It almost
totally
worked
forgot that
because they totally spent their bullpen trying to win that game.
It almost worked, but then
it almost did work. Don't get me wrong, it did almost work. But as soon as the Red Sox lost game 2, you're looking at game 3 going, uh-oh.
Yeah, your only hope was that Schlittler was also a rookie making his major league debut. And that dude's stuff is just ridiculous.
Yeah. But also
not to relitigate Cam Schlittler discourse because the last thing we need to talk about as Red Sox fans is Cam Schlittler. He's probably watching the stream now that I mention it. But to put a bow on my thought with the offseason is I'm trading for Ketel. I'm pivoting to Bichette from Bregman, letting Bregman go get the bag in Arizona.
I like that.
I'm pivoting to Bichette. having somebody under the age of 30 at a position on the infield is nice. And like I get you'd have Meyer, but like I'm banking on there being a chance that Marcelo goes in that trade. But I also
Or
want Meyer
Story
to
maybe
play
gets
again.
hurt or
Yeah,
something
or
happens.
Sora gets hurt and you have Meyer as reinforcements in AAA.
Yeah.
I would like for him to get to play against lefties. Again, I don't really like the thought of platooning guys, top prospects, especially not, in what would be his first full season, but like
I don't
second
hate it
year of big
against
league
like
experience.
tough lefties.
Yeah,
if you're
certain
not
lefties,
gonna-
obviously. Like I wouldn't have started him against Max Fried if he were
Yeah,
healthy.
exactly.
I wouldn't have started him against Rodon. Like he would have platooned the Yankee series.
Yeah.
But like if
But if you're
fucking
facing
Cade
some lefty
Povich
with
is
a-
pitching,
Yeah.
like if Cade Povich is on the mound, Meyer's playing.
Yeah.
If you're facing Ryan Yarborough, Meyer's playing. If you're facing, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other like not crazy good lefty. Like I would probably start him against Chris Bubich because he's got to get better against spin, and the only way to get better against spin is to face spin. But like just guys of that caliber. But again, so those two, I'm not touching the rotation again, unless it's via like the trade package I proposed for Duran, which was Duran, Harrison, and David Hamilton for Carter Jensen and Chris Bubich. Other than that, I'm trading Duran for prospects. I'm recouping some prospects in the farm system. I'm still looking the Kansas City route. I want Blake Mitchell. They need another mid to high minors catcher because again, not to like they have catching depth now. Like they got Luke Heyman, they got Adonis Guzman. That they added more catchers to the fray, and they added Jason DeLay. So like they have an MLB.
The fact that you didn't delay after saying his name is kind of sad.
But the next closest catcher in the organization of the big league readiness, at least from a Fangraph standpoint, projection is Nathan Hickey and Brooks Brannon.
Hickey's not a catcher.
I know, but that's just like positionally, he's still got the designation on Fangraphs. Like so, Hickey and Brooks Brannon. Like I would want to get another high minors catcher, and Blake Mitchell makes a lot of sense for me, and also went in the Teal draft. So like you know him enough. You probably like I wonder if Teal got taken by Kansas City instead. I wonder if the Sox would have gone catcher anyway and taken Blake Mitchell, or if they would have gone somewhere else. But
I think
I'm
what
doing
would have
that.
happened is Teal would have gone forward to the Rangers had the Tigers not taken Max Clark.
Maybe, but I'm just thinking the Royals. I mean, the Royals took Blake Mitchell, and that was the surprise because he was catcher one. Would they, if they had taken Teal, would the Sox have gone the Blake Mitchell route? I mean, it changes the whole process of how guys get picked because maybe somebody else really wanted Blake Mitchell. Whatever, semantics.
The MLB draft is wild because you don't, there's no trading picks, there's no knowing like. Also, too, because signing bonuses also play a part in it, so like you never know where someone really would have gone had that team not picked them. It's like the thing with Teal, like the Rangers were legitimately going to take him at 4 until the Tigers went, nope, Max Clark, and then they get Langford at 4, right?
Unreal.
And then Teal
he's a stud, man.
And then Teal falls from 4 to 14.
Crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
And I think part of it might have been teams weren't expecting Teal to be there because they were probably expecting the Rangers to take him.
Yeah.
So they went their other way, looked at other picks, and then Teal's available. Well, kind of late for that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking.
It's also why you don't go into the draft with agreements. The Detroit Tigers. Detroit Tigers.
Jackson Job's a good pitcher.
I'm not saying he's bad, but also, you know what the Detroit Tigers could use? A young, good shortstop. I don't know. If they have Marcelo Meyer, do they sign Javi Baez to that stupid contract?
Probably.
To be fair, they signed Baez 3 years ago.
Yeah, after the Meyer draft.
Well, I know it was after the Meyer draft, but are you really not making a free agency signing in 2022 because you're
at that much? Not in the situation the Tigers were in at that point.
I still think they would have. I mean, that was still.
I don't think they would have gone Baez for 6 years.
That was still Al Avila, though, right? That was his last offseason as the GM. He was not a very good GM, so.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have gone.
I think he still would have gone the flashy signing, but I wanted Javi so badly that winter. I'm so glad that I was not at the controls that winter. Even though the Trevor Story contract still hasn't worked for the Red Sox, even though it kind of did in 2025. But anyway,
it hasn't been miserable, but it hasn't been Javi Baez bad. But
yeah.
Could have been
anyway,
better.
finishing my off season, I also want to get another high leverage arm. I don't really think there is one on the right-hand side anymore. But I also don't want to trade for I think Danny Coulomb is probably the only lefty reliever out there that I kind of really want. Although there's surprisingly a decent amount of lefty relievers on the market. Last I checked, which was actually 2 days ago, but I'm blanking on who they were. But I remember being like, wow, that's actually like a weird position of strength. Why are teams trading like Isaac Collins for Angel Zerpa?
Is that
but
oh no, I'm thinking someone else. I'm thinking of Farrer got traded to the Mariners for
Harry Ford.
Might
like,
I
that was a
add.
crazy trade.
Yes.
Yeah, so like you got Taylor Rogers, you got Danny Coulomb, Justin Wilson's still there, like Taylor Saucedo, Sean Newcomb. I would bring him back. Cam Boozer's a free agent.
Colby Aller had a good year last year, but I don't know how much I believe in that.
Tim Meza was very good for the Blue Jays for a little bit. Like there's like known phenomenal person, Jalen Beeks, a free agent. I just felt like mentioning him.
Imagine
because I saw him. John King had a couple good years with Texas. Like there's plenty of lefty relievers out there. I'd be willing to sign one of them. Sign one of them.
Interesting free agent name. I know Hunter Harvey. I know there's been injury concerns there, but that feels right up the Red Sox alley. That's the one righty that I'm eyeballing.
That
feels so up the Red Sox alley.
He's healthy.
He also throws gas when he's healthy.
Allegedly.
If they want to go, and if they want to go kind of the rehab route for a righty, would not hate Jonathan Loizaga either. I would bring I'd bring Liam Hendricks back in as a minor league deal as well. See if that works.
Johnny Lasagna.
I
loved him. I've wanted him for like several off seasons in a row.
I hate that he's a Yankee. I hate that Loizaga's a Yankee.
I hate that a lot of people. I hate that Chisholm's a Yankee.
I don't.
May not be
I'm
for
not
much longer.
Jazz.
No, he won't be. They don't have the money.
You know what? I could see that.
Well, Passan listed him as a guy who could be traded this offseason.
What if the Yankees could trade for Donovan and then flip Chisholm, or play Chisholm?
Trade him and Will Warren for C.J. Abrams,
or send him to Washington,
or put Chisholm and Spencer Jones for Paul Skeens.
No. Send Chisholm to the Padres. They can never get enough shortstops. That's why Meyer go in there in a potential Tatis trade if that were to ever have, if the Red Sox were ever to get Tatis, which isn't going to happen. But
okay, I asked Derek this, Jordan. I want your opinion. Would you, if you could trade Tatis, the Padres say, okay, well, we want Duran, but you have to take on a majority of Bogarts' contract. Would you do it?
So I'm only trading Duran
and maybe a sweetener or two, but you get Tatis, but you have to take on the majority of Bogarts' contract.
Basically,
I'm doing it.
On just about all of his contract.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
I said no.
Derek said no.
Ooh. I said no, depending on how much money it is.
You're a good majority.
So you're eating a majority of Xander's contract. I mean, I think Xander fits Fenway more than he fits San Diego. So I think his offense would improve. He's been a better shortstop.
If they can trade you, I'll make the caveat. I'll put a caveat to that trade. I'll do it. I'll take the entire Bogarts contract, but get me off of Yoshida's money.
Here's my caveat. You don't really need Trevor Story anymore. If
that too, I was almost gonna say. You know what?
Duran and Story, you take the entire Story contract. I'll take a majority of Bogarts's and all of Tatis's. You are basically saving the Padres' financial situation. All it's going to cost them is Trevor Story.
I got a perfect idea.
But yes, I do it. But the Padres aren't going to treat Fernando Tatis in a money dump like that.
But just hypothetical. That's just every trade. Every mock trade's hypothetical these days.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hypothetically.
Oh, good God.
Are you plugging this into baseball trade values?
Yes, I am. It actually, the Padres are getting $10 million in surplus value. The Red Sox are getting $5 million.
The one I just proposed?
Yes. Duran and Story for Tatis Bogarts, but there's no money involved in that trade.
Huh.
That's no money involved. If you want to take on Machado's contract instead of Bogarts, you could probably give them Yoshida's contract as well.
We talked about that, Jordan, like a week or two ago, right?
Yeah.
Machado is a perfect fit for the Red Sox. Well, in a way.
It is.
I have the perfect trade.
Optically, that'd be awful, but
I have the perfect trade. Tatis and Machado for Duran, Story, Yoshida, and Hicks.
I am doing that in my sleep.
AJ Preller might do it in
He might.
just
he
because
might
of
do-
how chaotic it is.
But it also saves the Padres so much money long term. Think about that.
Yeah, I don't think he's I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, Nando's not
It's
getting
not
moved.
gonna happen, but like, come on, it'd be funny.
Yeah, Nando's not getting moved. That's kind of like the
I don't think it is, but like at the same, I don't think he is, but also too like, what if like if you're the Red Sox, like okay, let's just go hypothetically. If you're the Red Sox and you throw them Duran, you also throw them Meyer, right? And let's say you throw them
Jose
who's a
Bayo.
good fit? No, not Jose Bayo. I'm thinking like Cutter Crawford and who else would make sense? Like another sweetener.
Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, Kyle Harrison. Why not? Screw it. Duran, Meyer, Crawford, and Harrison. Like the Padres in that sense get a 4 or 5 starter in Cutter Crawford. They get an infielder, they get an outfielder, and they get Kyle Harrison on a, as a, potential. And if you really want, if you really need to eat money, I'll take Yuki Matsui back. Why not?
I like
Lefty
Yuki
reliever.
Matsui.
I'll take Yuki Matsui.
He's been really bad, but I like
yeah,
him.
but like he's 30. I mean, who knows? Right. But like something like that where it's like the Red Sox are like really kind of stretching it into an overpay. Like I think if you're Preller, you at least have to consider it.
I'd honestly call the Padres, and again, optically, this is horrible because of the thing that happened with Pedroia, and then also going from Bregman to this guy. But I'd call the Padres and be like, listen, what do we have to give up if we just ate Machado's contract?
If the Red Sox eat Machado's contract, I don't think I think the Padres have to give up for stuff for the Red Sox to eat that contract. That contract is so underwater.
But he's still a very good player because, like, so how I view it,
bad contract though.
I agree, but he's still very productive. So like, it's difficult. It's not similar.
Do you want to pay Manny Machado till he's like 42?
Not really, but I'm just I'm thinking like it's not the same as when the Mariners traded Edwin Diaz and Robinson Cano to the Mets. Like, it's not that level. It's not that bad.
Well, also, guess what? You then now have a new logjam in the outfield. You'd have to trade more.
Here's the issue with Machado, like more than anything. It's basically $32 million for 8 more years.
But he's still a good third baseman.
He is, but like I don't even think the last 3 years per Fangraphs he's been worth 27, 28, and 30 million. So he's barely worth his contract right now. And he's only going to get worse. That's the issue.
His batted ball data is still just.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong.
Do not get me wrong. So hear me out though. So like Machado's your third baseman for the next however many years. We'll call it 3, just for natural regression.
Contract in that
Story's contract's gone. Yoshida's contract's gone. Like now you're at the point where Roman's contract, the cash is dramatically or like at the same point or higher than his luxury tax hit. So you can afford to absorb that kind of contract and then just make Machado your DH and let him hit the shit out of the baseball for the last 5 years of his deal. I mean, again, we're talking in La La Land right now. This is what 2.5 hours on stream does, but like I genuinely think if the Padres are that strapped for cash,
I need Jeremiah Estrada to even consider that deal.
I mean, what? Oh shit! He's making $39 million a year every year for the rest of his contract starting next year.
Yeah,
but he's only 31 against the tax. But it's only 31.8 against the tax.
But it's
so
still
okay.
Bad.
So pay him down what? So 31 times.
You're gonna
wait. Doesn't the AAV reset?
Yes, it gets reset if you trade. If
he gets traded.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
So that's what happened in the Sonny Gray deal, but they'd have to restructure the deal.
They'd have to basically pay him down $10 million a year,
or they just restructure the deal and get the AAV down.
Pay him down $10 million a year.
The MLBPA is going to allow that.
Pay him down $10 million a year, trade him
Yeah.
Story. They take the last 2 years of Story's contract.
And Yoshida.
No.
Yes. Or
No, they take
Hicks.
the last 2 years of Story's contract. You get Manny Machado paid down $10 million a year. Your infield's Machado, Meyer. You trade for Cattell at second base. And then you got Costas at first base.
Padres, so
But
$10
anyway.
million a year, basically $80 million to the Red Sox. Which
I
then
think
at
I
that
don't think it's a
point,
crazy amount.
at that point, I still feel like I'm pushing for like Estrada also to get that deal done. If it's not Estrada, I'm pushing for a prospect like either Cash Mayfield or Cruz Schoolcraft. If it's not Estrada,
Give me Freddie Fermin instead.
that's
Give me
not gonna
another.
happen.
Give me another big leaguer.
That's not gonna happen though. That's why I'm saying like Estrada. If you give me Estrada, I'll do that. I'd do that deal. If the Padres would also throw in Estrada, I would 100% do that deal.
What's their? Yeah, because they do have a loaded bullpen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, would you do it if it was Morihone? I'd do it if it was Morihone.
I'd do
That
more
dude's
home,
crazy
but
good.
like just because he's only 1 year, I'd still see if I can also get something additional on top of Morihone. And it doesn't have to be anything like crazy. Like it could just be like a throw-in prospect, right?
Well, Cash Mayfield's probably a little bit above a throw-in?
Yeah, well, but I was saying Mayfield if it was, but like not May. I'm saying like if it wasn't like, I was saying try and get try and get Estrada and then bump down to Mayfield or Schoolcraft, Cruz Schoolcraft, and then if you're dropping then down to Morihone, I'm looking for maybe a throw-in prospect on top of Morihone if possible. Like if I'm really trying to, make that deal. Like I'm trying to maybe add just a throw-in prospect. Someone who like the Red Sox maybe think has potential to, do something.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of, but like, yeah, I could see like Machado Morihone and $80 million to the Sox for Story.
I think the beauty of the offseason too is like shit comes out of left field all the time. Like
yes.
Like it's so like again, don't judge the offseason until it's over. I mean, we will anyway. We'll judge the offseason until they make moves. Like until they've done something, they haven't done something. I mean, they've done stuff, but like until they've addressed the lineup, they haven't addressed the lineup. But yeah, I mean, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm exhausted. We need to wrap this up.
Real quick before we wrap up. Speaking of judging decisions, Jason and I are in the plans working on a little project. We won't fully release the details, but basically Jason and I are going to make 2 teams and they will be voted on to see who made the better team. Outside of that, going to hold information outside of that for now. But that should be expected around the new year, either just before or just after the new year. So keep an eye out for that live stream whenever that does happen.
Yes, sir. That will do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. I don't remember what episode title it is. This was a live stream, but it is going to go into the podcast rotation. RIP to somebody.
I think.
Yeah, if you're on a long commute tomorrow, Friday before Christmas, enjoy 2 hours and 45 minutes of.
You can listen on it and listen to it on your commute in and your commute out.
Exactly. But yeah, so for Derek and Jason, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.